left off, a tense meeting with some gravekeepers happened while a couple of your members were futzing about in the ocean. Zero, you were approached by two gravekeepers, Sight and Onslaught, warning you, speaking to you, uh, generally just making their presence known, informing your party of the situation. You all went back to the deep dive where you found the two gravekeepers just inside as if nothing happened. Uh, as you approach, a conversation was prompted. They sat down at the table with the giant rusted anchor hanging above you, and you began to question them about various subject uh, information ideas were exchanged, as well as potential future courses of action, whether they hunt you down or perhaps hunt for you. Sight gave you a silver coin with a skull etched on it to facilitate a two-way conversation in case you need to discuss details of possibly sacrificing one of your own to hire their services. A few more tense minutes of conversation, they left the small salvage town of Gulmid Harbor as a show of good faith, in a way, to assuage your fears of them massacring the town, but did shoot Azek when he was cocktailing them. One rest later, you decided the situation in Fintu can't wait any longer. You have half the food safely stored away in Chris's demi-blame. Teleported with some difficulty to the dry, hot, and arid country of Sant, Zero's homeland. Luckily, not being pushed off too far with the teleportation mishaps. Only a couple miles, and a couple of hours later, you find yourself at the foot of a mountain. As you approached, you pierced some sort of stardust veil, concealing the true nature of this one singular mountain to reveal there's actually two landing at the foot of these twin mountains. The air sort of sapping your body dry of moisture. Zero, you are used to this. As the dragon touches down and you begin walking towards the tent and mountain city of Fintu, a couple guards catch you as you approach, but with news and your general familiarity to the town, Zero, they let you in. With the knowledge of food is here, and as you're approaching, a familiar tiefling approached you, Zero, and hugged you, your mother, Thessa. And that is where we pick up. You, Zero, in the arms of your mother, who you wordlessly left a couple months back, and the other three of you just standing off the side, witnessing one of your party being smothered by another tiefling.
I will gently place my mother back on the ground, then I will kind of turn to my party and just introduce them to my mother. Awkwardly, because, yeah.
It's your mother.
Yeah.
Yeah. As Zero puts down their mother, just turns this older red tiefling with sort of short ibex-like horns that sort of curl back high above the brow. Just very well-kept white hair and sort of an aged face with sort of crow's feet around the eyes, some weathering. Zero's mother sort of looks towards you, Zero, and then towards the party, and just sort of sheepishly begins to, in a way, waddle towards the party. Zero, as even while you're hugging, and also just as you're sort of just looking at your mother now, you can see she's a little gaunter, in a way. Looks like she hasn't really been eating too well, and she's noticeably thinner. as your mother approaches the rest of you. Uh, she sort of just one by one begins to take uh, all of your hands and just begins to shake them very violently. Uh, sort of just going, I think it is you three then that I have to thank for bringing my Zera alive.
Yep.
Your what?
My Zera.
What's that?
No, that's Zero.
Tessa sort of just turns back towards you, Zero, and just gives like a what look.
Zero's gonna, I guess, lean in to their mom and just like whisper, just like kind of softly, like, I go by Zero to them, please.
Your mom sort of just grabs you by both shoulders and sort of just pushes you towards the party and just stands above you, like a proud parent, and just very proudly announces, "This is my child Zeradia."
Oh my God.
Zeradia?
Zeradia.
How do you spell that?
Xeradilla.
Common letters, very strange.
Wait, Zeradia?
Yes.
Cross this word out like 5 times.
Zero's like embarrassed, visibly embarrassed.
You must be Zero's Pratchel.
I don't know what a pratchel is, but maybe.
Pratchel is the greatest, most powerful being in the universe.
Zero's mom sort of just almost has like this like flustered look, but sort of just goes back and just goes, well, I can't say that I am a powerful being, but I teach children in a way that is a form of power.
What is your name? Have we been introduced?
Oh, I am Thessa.
Thessa?
Thessa.
You'll have to excuse me. I'm Riley, and my expertise is the exact opposite of what is happening right now. I'm a fish out of water. By the way, do you have any water?
Yes, it is not suitable for fishing. Unfortunately, it is a underground aquifer. We get our drinking water from a spring from underground.
Underground fishing. But not here. I must restrain myself. Well then, once things are wrapped up here, we should head over. I'm a bit parched.
Yes, we can. I can guide you to the aquifer if we need some water. We can talk on along the way. And sort of just looks towards you, Zero, with a serious look in her eye.
I will just put my hand on her shoulder and let her know I will give them the tour and see that they are hydrated. And I will sleight of hand her one of the ration packs I have in my bag of holding.
Okay. Do you want to roll? You don't need to, but you could.
I like to.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, happens. Are you trying to make this overt so she knows it, or are you just trying to just have her discover a ration pack eventually?
I want to put it in her hand directly and just kind of give her a look. Like, I'm trying to keep it low key.
Okay. As you slide a good bundle of rations, just small piece of biscuits, hardtack, a lot of dried objects, but food, stuff that would be filling and at the very least nutritious. And you sort of just slide a pack into her hand. She sort of just looks at it and just looks around and just quietly pockets it for now. And sort of just goes, I think we have a lot of... Well, do you have a lot of explaining to do? Why did you leave?
Zero's gonna, I guess, kind of lean forward into her just to whisper a little bit and just say, I came here to do something to help Vintu, so I'm gonna do that, and then afterwards, when we're alone, we can talk if that's alright with you. I'm gonna give her like a pleading look.
Okay. As yeah, as just as you sort of give that pleading look, you sort of just steps back a little bit and just has a like almost like a disappointed look in her eye, as she sort of just backs up a little bit and just just goes, looks at the supplies and various books and crates of dreading utensils that she's dropped, and just looks back towards that and just goes to the rest of the party. And it seems we'll have a conversation another time. I have a class to get to. She sort of just backs up another few feet.
Sorry, while she's talking to them, I would like to use Mage Hand and also just use my actual hands and just pick everything up for her. So when she's done talking to the group, I already have everything like ready for her. So she doesn't have to pick it up.
Okay. And as she turns around and begins to pick up the objects, they're already like neatly organized. And she just picks up the crates and just picks up the big stack of books and just turns towards User and just goes, well, once you're done, please come home. We have
Go ahead.
a discussion.
I will just give her a nod.
Yeah, as she sort of just begins to walk off. Well, you know where to find me.
I give her a little kiss on the cheek and then I go back to the party.
Okay. I just give her a kiss on the cheek. The somewhat sad look on her face just brightens up a bit. There's a small smile as she gives a like a small handsless curtsy to the rest of the party and just begins to make her way up one of the stairs and the ladders, just climbing up, no hands involved, just climbing up a pretty steep mountain. As you are left in as close of a thoroughfare as there is in Fentu, just on the ground with the tarps, the colorful cloths sort of casting shade along the ground. You can see above you just these web of bridges made of just these grass fibers knotted together. You are definitely drawing some attention as people walk by. A lot of them, not skin and bones, but they are noticeably thin. And you can just pass and just glance at you, just wondering why there's 3 quote-unquote foreigners in town.
Do I unload the food here?
Let's head to the storage area, and I think we can drop it off there. And is the tiefling still with us? The dude who's like leading us?
Yeah, he's just been chilling there, just watching. He's involved now.
Okay. I will just give him a nod, like we're ready to follow him.
As we're going through town, and I see, because everyone here you said is like really skinny, right? Like just
They're
thin.
not looking great. Yeah.
Jana is gonna like quick whip up like some good berries and just kind of like pass them out to people. Just like, take this please, take this please.
Okay.
I'm
I
gonna
have
just make
take
some
sure-
down 2 of my first level spell slots, so I think that gives me 20 berries to pass out along the way.
I think so. Yeah.
So sweet.
Does Riley spot any people like huddled by a fire? I can't imagine in this fucking heat there would be.
Make a perception check.
Sure.
You see people huddled, just against various buildings on the ground, just underneath like a tent or a large cloth that's sort of strung across the building like an awning, just keeping out of the sun mostly. No fire, but they are just huddled by like 2 or 3 people, just almost looking like they don't have the energy to really do anything else.
And I don't spot any like cooking utensils, do I?
Not here, not on the ground floor at least.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to the storage area?
I'm following the dude, wherever he is taking us, I guess.
Okay, yeah, so he heard you have food, so he's probably taking you to the storage area, which he just begins to climb up a couple ladders, a couple staircases. It's the whole town is sort of built up on at an angle, just up across the face of the mountain. So even the ladders that you could climb normally, a lot of people sort of just walk up them. You ever seen like those like Himalayan monks just walking up a mountain just like barefoot? It's yeah. These tieflings here that later seem to have gotten accustomed to living vertically like this. As the guard just begins to climb up the mountain as you all follow suit. Coming into a fairly large tunnel area that sort of opens up into a larger chamber. It's not super well lit. But you do see a couple of small torch sconces just strung across the upper parts of the wall. Yeah, you walk inside. There's not a whole lot in here. It's just a carved rock chamber, mostly just embedded into the mountain. And you see a couple of crates and barrels that have all been popped open, empty, and they're just strung, like just strewn across the place, just haphazardly. A lot of grain bags that are just nothing in them. You see a couple of small rats that are just like fighting each other and just trying to like pick apart like what few pieces of food are still left just on the ground, like little scraps. You do see in the far corner as you approach a small contingency of guards, about 5 or 6, just creating this sort of semicircle around a small corner of this whole chamber, and in that corner is just 2 crates.
Sorry, can I quick interrupt real quick? Can people hear
Yep.
that noise behind? Do I have any background noise?
Yeah, it's not too bad though.
I don't hear
Yeah.
anything.
It's only when you talk, but it's not like distracting.
You guys can hear that fire alarm?
Oh, fire alarm?
Oh,
No.
no.
Oh,
No.
what can you hear? I have a fan
Just
running.
like-
Is that it?
Yeah, it's probably
Yeah,
probably
okay.
the fan.
How is
Yeah.
how is the fan picked up and not the fire alarm? Okay.
Dude, why
It's
is there a
It's
fire
not
alarm
mine.
going
It's not on my floor, so it's not in my apartment. But my window's open and I can hear it outside. I'm like, oh lord, I hope you guys can't hear that.
Nope.
Okay.
on? Are you okay? Do
No,
you wanna
this
go-
happens all the time. It's fine.
Okay.
If there was a real fire, it'd be going off on my floor.
That's fair.
It's somebody that's just like vaped too close to. It's dumb. The people are dumb here. Okay, I just wanted to check in. If something is too annoying, please tell me in my background noise. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, but the guard leads you to the corner where there's just 5, 6 guards. Just semicircle around the corner with only 2 crates there. They're not huge crates. The crates you brought are like 4 times the size of these crates. Yep.
So are we unloading these right now? Is that what's happening?
I think so. Yeah.
That's the intention.
All right.
Is there anywhere here that I could like dump out these rations I have on me that they'd be like organized well, or would I just be dumping them on the floor?
There's not a whole lot of tables. It's mostly just a larger room to carry general supplies. There are, handfuls of rope. There's some clothing. Even then, there's not a whole lot. A lot of them look pretty old. Like, they just haven't been refreshed. But, like, those parts are somewhat well organized. Everything else is in complete disarray, and that's you who lived here. Most of that was food. There's, like, small little subsections. There's, like, oh, these are for tools, that's for clothing. Everything else is for food. Food's pretty much almost gone except for this one corner. So there's not a place you can really no, but you can put them on the floor. There's like tarps and cloths that just stop it from touching the floor directly.
I'll probably try to pass those out in a second, but I guess we can get started with the crates and that liminal space, whatever the fuck it's called, the pocket dimension.
We might want to kill some rats
Why?
so that it's more sanitary for these people.
Okay, that's fair. I thought
Is
you
there
had
rats
weird.
in the food?
A few rats scurrying around.
Is Azek's still? Wait, no, he's a bird now. Can I let Azek have at them?
Yeah, he's a hawk now or something.
I think he's an owl right now.
Okay.
When I
Yeah, he's-
wild shape, well, you're doing this. I'll just let you do that.
No. I think I thought about it. I don't want to kill these rats if I don't have to. Go ahead.
Because when Jana wild shapes, she just can automatically talk to things, right? Like if I turn into a rat, I can talk to rats. I don't need to cast a different, because I can't talk to humans. I guess I can cast the spell separately, but I thought it was a twofer.
I will say sure. I don't think it doesn't say that much, but yeah, I'll say sure. When you wild shape, you gain some insight of how to communicate with creatures.
Then Jana will quick wild shape into a rat, try and like run through as many crevices as she can, being like, oh my god, there's so much food outside of this crate. Let's all go to this huge food source. Everybody, come gather outside the crate.
Okay. As just scurrying around, make a deception check.
I never have to roll that one. I was like, where is it? Yes.
Hey.
Sneakiest rat in the crate.
Yeah. As there's a couple, as you go into turn into a rat, you begin to hear, like, you can hear them as a gnome, just like around. You can hear the scurrying, you hear little squeaks as you begin to slowly turn into a rat, and you begin to assume the form of a rat. Those squeaks turn into some languages, and you hear what is essentially like an Ocean's 11's plot of how to get to the last crate of food. And you just hear like various like just harebrained plans of just like, okay, Jimmy, you run left, that'll distract the guard on the left, and just like, yeah, all of that. And as you just run in and go, hey, there's food outside. They all immediately begin just abandoning their plans, and you just piper them out from out. Yeah. You have no idea how many are in here, but you have like a good like dozen rats or so.
I just want to clear out most. I feel like I'll just make my rounds through what feels like the main crate spaces, saying we've landed somewhere new. There's better food outside, and the coast is clear.
Yep. As the rats begin to just funnel out of the tunnel, they just go out into the sun. Are you following them, or just letting them go out?
I'm just letting them go.
Okay. Yeah, they all just sort of scurry in random directions, and they get about like 20 feet, and they just begin to just watch and just wait for something to happen.
Well, they're out of the
Janet is-
crate. I don't know. What are they gonna do? Go back? Once I feel like most have left, Janet's gonna leave the crate and just turn back into a gnome and just like block up whatever holes they came out of.
Jana is the rat messiah.
We are the
rat
rats.
We are the rats.
Okay. While that's happening, Zero, Chris, Riley, doing anything?
Shall I unload?
Yeah, I think these guys will help us out.
Okay.
What's the air conditioning like in here? Is it like less stuffy than it is outside?
It is more stuffy, actually.
Riley
it's more stuffy,
is-
but it is less hot.
in the corner, he is still just blasting his face away with the Tempest retort.
Yeah,
He is not helping.
Yeah, it's less of like a sun heat, and and now it's more just like a lot of just ambient heat. It's still slightly cooler than it is outside, just because there is shade and stuff. But it's just it like when you smell the air, it has like a cave, like a dusty scent to it, just because you're in a cave in a way.
How many guards are there?
Visibly 6, including the one that he followed you in, and he sort of just like looking at you expectantly for like something to happen. Is like, so where's the food?
Well, first of all, I need you all to help unload all of it first. So you have 1 hour to get all of it out. And then it's all yours. And I've become your savior.
God.
You sound like a game show. And you get to keep anything you collect in 1 hour.
And I'll cast Demiplane, the one that with the food in.
Okay. Are you casting it on the floor, the wall? Because it
I'll cast it on the wall.
okay. I guess if you cast it on the ceiling, all of them would just drop out technically.
Oh wow.
But you know, that could be dangerous. It's up to you.
I think the wall would be better,
Okay.
It just because if I do the roof, maybe it all makes a mess and things fall out of cases and that.
Okay. I just cast it on the wall. This shimmering gateway, this perfectly square room opens up, and there's I think it was like 8 crates and a couple of others, smaller crates you jammed in there. The 6 guards are fucking gobsmacked by your magical prowess and your 8th level spells. They stand there for about 12 seconds before the original guard that led you in here. It's like, right, 1 hour. And just drops the weapon he had on the floor and just begins to just try to pull out crates. Okay, are you all helping, or do you want to do something else?
Yeah, I'll help.
Okay. Riley's here. What do you want to do? You want to help as well, or or you want to find something else to do?
I'm still fatting myself.
Okay.
I could try to help them as well. I'm wondering if, let me see, how big is it? How heavy is the bag of holding?
How heavy?
Yeah.
It's about the good question. It's only a couple pounds, if I remember correctly. Like the actual bag of holding itself.
I was gonna see if Adzik could go around and start giving out the fucking the rations I still have in my bag, but I don't know if that would work out. So can he try? Like, if I leave the bag of holding open, can he like duck down in there and grab some of the rations and then run out and just like drop them to people?
Uh,
while you're doing this.
make a strength check for Isaac.
Where is...
You want him to hold the bag of holding while he and just sort of Santa Claus his the rations out.
No. I was gonna see if I could leave the bag of holding open on the floor in this room, and he could just come back and forth, like grabbing out of however much he can with his talons, which probably won't be a lot, but like grab the packs and then just go out and just drop them to people who seem to need them.
Okay, yeah, he can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oi,
He's,
Zero. You know I've got a free hand, right?
If you'd like to, go ahead.
It only takes one to fan myself.
I will pass my bag of holding then to Riley, and I will instruct Isaac to please help him.
Alright.
To distribute them.
Okay. Cool. Sure. As you just leave the just give the bag of holding to Riley, who you will begin to just systematically finding people that look a little energyless and begin handing out rations. Occasionally, Isaac will just come in, swoop down, just slam his feet into the bag of holding to pull out 2 more ration bags. Cool. Jenna, you are back to a gnome. What do you want to do?
So I'm assuming I can now do something and I'm not doing my rat things.
Yeah, the rats so far have not come back.
Okay. Yeah.
You can look outside and we'll see they're still there, but they're just Actually, if you're still watching the rats, or Riley, yeah, like as you begin to pass out, like rations to people, there's suddenly a horde of rats just beginning to follow you.
Riley?
Yeah.
Well, I don't really know how to deal with rats. I don't speak with animals. Oh, you know what? I know what I'll do. I'll throw a fish on the ground.
Okay, and they tear into it.
Perfect.
Yeah, over the next like couple minutes, it's like stripped to the bone.
And are the rats still following me?
Yes.
I'll throw another fish on the ground.
Okay. It's a couple minutes, strip it to the bone.
And are they still following me?
Yep.
Okay, I'll throw another fish on the ground.
Okay.
Why would they stop following you? You're feeding them fish.
No, they gotta get full eventually.
Yeah, as you're throwing fish on the ground, you see increasingly more rats begin to follow you, and you have like this like cluster of like 20, like 20 or 30, just like a horde of piranhas just following you.
Hmm.
All right, while that's happening, yeah, Jenna, you are still in the storage area with you saw Riley just like be assailed with this gang of rats, mugging him for all his fish.
Well, I guess to my eyes, it's Riley's feeding these things fish, and they're following him. So I think
Yeah.
things are under control because it seems Riley's doing great. So I guess I'll just help people where I can. Like people we're unloading, right? I'll just go help with that.
Okay. All right, so Riley is handing out rations with the help of Isaac. Chris and Jenna are beginning to help and just unload as much of these objects and crates. These very large crates that required like cranes to originally move. Yeah, and Zero, you are watching you and your party feeding pretty much the whole town.
I will also be helping everyone pull the crates out.
Okay. All right. So with everyone helping, generally feed people. Yeah, Riley, especially as you're walking around, make a persuasion check.
Persuasion?
Mhm.
That's not very good.
So you do hand out a couple of rations, but there's a couple of people who, as you begin to hand them out, they just walk away. Just like they sort of just, and you have pretty high path perception. They sort of look at you with like a "Who is this guy?" look. As you're walking around, you are pretty much you are the only elf you've ever seen this whole town. But some people do not have the position to refuse. Uh, so you do manage to. It takes a little bit longer, but you do manage to eventually empty out the bag. It takes a little bit longer than you would have liked, but yeah, over the course of the next hour or so, you do just begin reaching in ration after ration after ration. Bag is empty.
Alright, back to storage.
Okay, and it does take the better part of an hour to get pretty much all of the crates out. Given in that time, the word that food is here has already reached some other people, especially nearby. And aside from the 6 guards, you now have like over time, slowly, a bunch of people just begin to show up and just begin also helping out, pull out these crates. These crates are pretty huge, so the extra hands are definitely welcome. As there's probably like 50 or so people in this place just alone, just looking and either looking or helping. Some you can see people are beginning to just already gorge themselves on hardtack. Some dried meats, some nuts.
I get it, these people are starving, but like, oh, don't fill yourself up on the hardtack.
Yeah, a couple people do like just nom the hardtack, and like you can already see them get like a really dry throat and begin to like someone runs and gets like a bucket of water, and there's like this communal water like pile in the center for like general refreshment and moisture.
Riley is indulging in that.
Yeah.
Is there like is there like an authority figure I can talk to? Like Zero's mom?
Zero's mom is not here, but there are a couple of the guards, the original guard he came in here with. You're not sure if he's like high ranking or anything.
I'll just talk to Zero. Be like, I take it there's no like gardening situation going on here?
Not currently, no. This town survives on assistance from outside.
Can I just make a quick nature check? Like, do I know with my like ranger abilities, like, are there things that you might be able to grow here if you got a little like clever? That they might not be doing?
Make a nature check.
I'm not trying to undermine the smarts of people here, just...
Okay. Yeah, just going around looking at the terrain and like judging from the ground and dirt beneath you. You're not sure of like local plants, but just using what you do know about, plant life in general. This ground is very dry, very arid, and even like you sort of dig through and like you hit rock pretty quickly. So like there might be plants that survive here, but you're not sure what they are. But any other plant you try to plant, at least in this area, probably won't be able to survive just due to the temperature and the dryness and most of the rock. You can sort of just sift through and like you can see there is already like a very thin layer of like salt in there as well. So it's a lot of things piling on to make plant life kind of hard to grow here.
Got it. Thank you.
Does Jana like mention any of this, or I guess you asked me. I'm just gonna like lean in to Jana and just whisper. There are underwater. Excuse me. Fuck. There's underground streams here. That's where we get our water from. I don't know if that area might be any better luck.
Right. Here's what I'm thinking in my head, and I'm trying to check my spells to see if I can do it. You can't grow directly in the ground, but if you got some like planters, and you just if I'm able to like just get some like good soil and dirt, just like make that just whip that up, you could plant things that doesn't have to deal with like the salty ground, which is requiring outside resources, but that could be like trying to make a sustainable thing so you don't have to do this, I know we just brought in a whole ton of food, but it's,
No,
now that we're here, I'm like, how can I help these, that's the mode Jana's in. So I'm just gonna peruse my spells, but that is good to like, so there's plenty of water, but the earth itself is like sucky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I overhear this conversation?
Probably.
I guess this,
yeah,
yeah, I would say, is this a conversation? I guess it can be. This isn't like I'm keeping this a secret or anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unless you're like specifically keeping it hidden, yeah, you could move over here.
Okay. I have a clump of umber moss. If you want it.
What does that do?
What was the effects of the umber moss again?
It gave you better dark vision, but it also made you sensitive to sunlight.
Oh yeah.
That seems bad out here. Because
A lot
the
of sun.
sun's really bright. It's deserty.
I do have a kiwi and an apple.
So, question: if I were to cast Erupting Earth, would that be the natural? It says choose a point on the ground within range. A fountain of churned earth and stone erupts on that point. That would be already the natural terrain. I'm not creating new terrain.
Yeah, so like it would pretty much, yeah, you would crush like the rock and stuff, which is pretty good. But it would still be like kind of salty, which might be okay if you diluted it enough. But yeah, but like it is, yeah. Currently, it is like where you stand. Like, it is rock. There's like a thin layer of like dirt and sand, and then it's rock, which is bad. But if you erupted earth it would turn into like it would make it farmable to an extent. It would just, the salt might be an issue. So it could work.
Just thinking out loud, because I feel like I don't have any spells. I think I picked up Create or Destroy Water, because in my mind I'm like, I think there's one for like Earth or Soil as well, but I don't think I picked it up. We can always do something like, worst comes to worst, like go to the Atmes and just be like, I'll give you 10 gold and just put a bunch of dirt in a bag. Like, you know? If we wanted to do that, that doesn't feel like our top priority right now, but that's where my mind's going. For while we're here, that'd be nice to set up like some little garden areas and teach these people how to like grow their own food.
I agree. I think, yeah, long term, the town being like self-sustaining would be fantastic. That is an idea though, like going to the Atneys and seeing if they have any alternatives to,
Right.
like, I don't know, maybe they make
Or
a
even
magic
tell them
plant
too, like,
thing.
do you have anything that can turn shitty soil to like bring life into it? You know, suck salt spell.
Suck salt.
That could be just thinking. It'd be cool to have like a little what's it called? Like your watering can, and it's like enchanted. So when you water, like it slowly like changes the terrain. That could be
That'd
cool.
be cool.
I'm not Simon though.
Hey man, if it doesn't exist, you can commission it.
If you can't tell, I did my garden this week, so I'm like, oh.
No, it's very much helpful. Thank you.
So is all the food unloaded then?
Yeah, so after the hour, or a little bit under the hour, I should say, with the help of like 50 plus people, you don't have many tools like you did in Gilman Harbor, so it requires a lot more hands. But because it's because it's horizontally being offloaded, it does make it a little bit easier instead of just trying to lift it up out of the ground. Yeah, but over about for an hour, rather you would walk in just as the last large crate is offloaded, and there's like, yeah, at this point there's like 100 plus people in this one room. Riley, as you walk in, it is hot. It is the ambient heat of everyone in here has made it like just as hot as outside.
It smells wild in there.
It does. It smells crazy.
Yeah, Riley walks in, he gets one whiff of it, turns 360 degrees, and back walks out.
I know that experience.
Backwards walk.
I was in a GameStop at 9 p.m. one time. It was not good. But yeah, as the all the crates are offloaded, a lot of these crates are like bigger than like the average person, like fucking 8-9 feet tall. The original guard, he sort of walks up to you and he has like a crowbar in hand, 0, and he sort of just hands it to you. That'd be fitting for you to do the honors.
Okay. And I will walk over to one of the big boy crates and I will attempt to open it with the crowbar, I guess.
Okay. All right. As you walk over and just like the crowbar's a little bit too big to pop open the whole thing, but you do manage to pry off one plank, which is enough for like this huge collection of just dried meats and like grains and hardtack and just a lot of non-perishable or at least long-lasting goods just begin to just spill out of it, and everyone just cheers. You see people crying. Some people just don't give a shit and are already just like scarfing themselves on the just like stuff on the ground.
I'm gonna turn to Chris really quick and just speak very low, and I'm gonna ask, hey, is there any way you can possibly cast detect magic on these crates? We didn't really have enough time to go through all of them, and seeing as this town is very desirable to some people, I didn't really trust TNT, and I just want to make sure that he didn't plant anything on the food, if that makes sense.
Yep, I can definitely do that. I can take some time.
Thank you. Thank you to everybody for helping.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that at ritual.
Okay, you're taking the 10 minutes. All right. So you begin to just scribe the sigils into the ground. The rest of you, what do you like to do?
I'll wait around till Chris is done.
Okay.
Pretty much, Riley's outside the room in, like, as far away from, like, a conglomeration of people as he can possibly get without being too far away from everything.
All right. John, any actions?
I think I'll pop off 2 more while that's happening. Oh my god, sorry, Chrome is giving me a hard time. I'll pop off 2 more good berries and just pass those out to like people like that are very, at the end, like the outskirts.
Okay.
I feel like they'll take a while to get to the crates.
Yeah. So, yeah, as you sort of go outside, you begin to go down to the area. You see a couple people that haven't heard there's food again. Though as you're outside, word is spreading quickly. And you see people, the ones that have energy, at least, just full tilt towards that storage room. The ones that don't, you begin to just hand out some good berries. Yeah, it doesn't immediately make them just like, meat on bones, but you know for a fact they're not going to starve, at least not today.
Yeah.
Okay, and as you're handing that out, just exploring the town, it is a colorful town. Despite it being built in sort of like an arid hellhole, like there's a lot of color. There's a lot of the cloths have these intricate red and gold designs on them, just like almost like a Persian rug. Like the patterning is just draped across this whole lower section of the mountain. Okay, as Chris, as you're doing the detect magic, the spell pings nothing out of the ordinary, nothing on the crates, as you're sort of doing a walk around. Yeah, nothing magical that shouldn't be magical.
Okay.
Okay, good. Thank God.
Yep, I detect nothing.
Thank you, Chris. I really appreciate it.
Yep, it's free to pass out.
Okay.
Well, I'll let the guards take over then if everything's unloaded and
All right. And you just silently make your way out of the crowd. A couple of people just like pat you on the back of the head, or that the back of the back, just like patting your shoulder, like people like try to go in for hugs, shake your hand. There's one time like they try to do that like lifting up the town hero thing on you.
Aw.
I wiggle out of it.
Yep.
No.
As you sort of just like torpedo spin, like and just get out of their grasps. And they just go back to the food.
I'm gonna point to the rest of the party members, Jana, Riley, and Chris, all one at a time, and just and let anyone who's like surrounding me know they help too, and then I'm just gonna sneak away.
Jana would like to invoke the thing where I stand still and people can't see me.
So incredibly still.
Make a stealth check.
Do I? Oh yeah, I just get bonuses to my stealth.
Yeah.
Stealth.
Okay. It works, weirdly enough. Like, you're not sure whether it's because you're actually standing so still they can't see you, or they're just excited and that you just pass by their attention. But you just, once you handle your last good berry, you just, like, stand out. You just stand there, and people just walk past you.
What's that? Yeah, I'll just continue. I don't know if I'll find what I'm thinking of.
Right. Okay. As Zero, you sort of wiggle your way out of the crowd as good timing, because more people are beginning to crowd in as well, and like the storage room is beginning to like get a little bit too crowded. There's people in there generally, but it's like there's like 100+ people in there now, and that's
Oh wow.
yeah, there's a lot of people in there. And there's just more coming in. You can see people just like not like rushing, but they're climbing up the steps and the ladders to the first layer where you want.
Okay.
Yeah, but food delivered, and not all the food, but it'll keep them. Judging from the amount of food, like that one crate had like several months worth of like rations in it. And there's 8 of the bastards or something, and there's smaller ones too. So the town, like the 1,000+ people or so in town, you're pretty confident will be fed at least, or at least not die.
Good. I'm glad.
Okay. Zero, make a perception check.
Oh no. I'm not good at those.
Okay.
Oh, what's that then?
As you sort of exit out into the sun, you sort of spy across the way. Yeah, just like a couple dozen or so feet away from you on the opposite side, on the Twilight Peak mountain. Just near the residential hallways, you see a red tiefling male. 2 large backwards pointed curved horns, and hard to tell what the face is, but you can see sort of has that short, messy, wild black hair, and looks like wearing expensive and very colorful clothing. Just so you see a lot of deep reds, blues, greens, and purples, and just like a long silk coat with all those colors. Hard to tell the details, but you can see glimmering jewelry just from the sun just shining in your eyes, just on his fingers, the ears, horns, and that guy just looking at you.
Do I recognize this person?
You do, actually. This is Maladric, who is more or less the person that founded the Retrievers.
Oh. Has he always been this decked up?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Really?
He sort of just walked into town one day and all this shit, and that's sort of how other people were like, yo, I want that.
Huh. I will kind of just... I think, like, I'm unsure of what he wants, but I will just give him a respectful, acknowledging, just, like, nod to him, you know?
He sort of just nods back, and he just makes his way into the corridor that he was in and just walks away. You have been acknowledged.
Can I insight check that? That was weird.
Make an insight check. Hard to read.
Okay.
Yeah, like fucking like Brad Pitt just looked at you, more or less.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah. Someone rich and famous looked at you, acknowledged your presence.
We are rich and famous now.
You are. Honestly, you're probably between
Oh,
the
yeah,
all
we
of you, you're
are.
honestly richer than the entire town. Not gonna lie, but by like several times over.
Do I know where my mother may have gone?
You know of the quote unquote classroom that she teaches in. It's just like one of the areas in the residential district, just like a room that is dedicated just for kids to go there and just learn as best they can. And around that same area is the your house as well.
Okay. Chris, how soon would you be able to get us out of here? Do you need a long rest, or is it ready to go
Yeah.
whenever?
I need a long rest.
I'll let you.
Although I
that.
could get us to the dragon.
Oh, that reminds me. The fucking invisibility ran out eventually, huh?
Yeah, it would have.
Oh shit.
It would
We're
have makes
actually-
the dragon just sitting outside the town.
Actually,
We're
I
putting them
can't get us to the
food. They
dragon.
can suck it up. Deal with it.
Yeah, he's chilling. He's not bothering nobody. But I was just gonna say, if you need a long rest, you can go ahead and take that. I do want to get back to Golmud quickly because that's also an emergency. But I was gonna. There's a few people I do need to speak to before we leave here. It shouldn't take me that long if you guys are ready to leave now. But if you need a long rest before we teleport back to Golmud, then I'll let you do that if you want to do that. Not let you, but I'll leave you to it to do as you need to do.
Yeah. Maybe actually I'll study for 4 hours and then I'll rest for 4 hours.
That works.
Sure. So is that what you're gonna do, Chris?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Are you gonna do that in the storage room or on the dragon?
Is there a quiet place I can go?
What time is it right now?
It's a little bit like late morning. You
Would,
guys got here pretty early.
would people be in that like bar tavern area right now, like at 11 a.m.?
There would be some people. It's not usually when people go there, but yeah, there would be some people. It's not a whole lot. There might be more people now that there's food, but yeah.
Okay. Do I know of any place Chris can go to get privacy?
There's a couple hangout spots. If Chris doesn't mind climbing, you can try to climb to the top of one of the mountains. Another common place is to like sort of hang at the top of the bridges, the web block, because the top one's pretty long, so people like just like to hang out in the middle of it.
I will let him know of the options here too.
I like the top of the mountain option.
Okay. Make an athletics check. Okay. Yeah, you slowly make your way up there. Like you get to the point where there's like set ladders and bridges and stuff. Like the ladders there's some wood ladders, not a whole lot, but some of them are like just little handholds carved into the rocks themselves. Some are whole like stairs that you can climb up. And it's fine up to that point. You cross a lot of tieflings along the way. All of them sort of just eye you weird, but considering you're just walking around normally, they don't seem to bother you for any further than that. Once you get to the very top, though, it becomes less organized in a way. The ladders become just like marked handholds in the rock itself, and the pathways become very, very narrow. So just taking your time, you do manage to get up pretty high, but you are fucking exhausted at that point. Just climbing almost vertically for like 15 minutes.
Can I keep on going?
All the way to the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you get up to the top.
Nobody said it yet, has they? Chris,
Hmm?
do you crave that mineral?
Yes.
You want to lick the mountain?
Sure. I'll see if it's salty.
It is salty, actually.
Oh.
It's pretty salty.
Do we see this from the ground? Just miles up?
No, you don't. It's you see Chris climb and he becomes like a speck at the. But by the time he reaches like at the top bridge. Yeah, but as you get up there, it's pretty serene, actually. It's still hot, but like because you're so high up, the wind blows onto you and it sort of cancels it out. As you get up there, you see someone else up there, actually. You see a sort of younger girl, blue tiefling, sort of two small curved horns. As you get up, you sort of just like peek your head up and you see she has sort of like clear purple pink eyes and just medium length black hair, and she's just wearing some sort of gray robe with some white cloth accents, and at her side you see like what sort of looks like sort of like a gnarled, petrified tree staff, like this gnarled piece of wood that's like a staff.
Hello. Who are you?
She looks very surprised as you approach, and she's just looking at you. I'm sorry, I didn't know. Who are you?
I'm Chrysostomus Killager, the great and powerful.
And she sort of just, as you sort of just like pull yourself up. There's not a whole lot of like foothold here, but you know she's sort of just sitting down on the top. As you sort of pull yourself up, she just sort of eyes you up and down. Well, it seems you're that'd be pretty important to get into the town without being sicked upon. I'm Nensa.
Nensa. What brings you up here?
Well, it's a new job. I'm just clearing my head.
Clearing
What about
your head. Sort of the same thing, except I'm gonna try and fill my head
Yeah,
with
yeah,
knowledge.
Up there in the Hollywood Hills?
Yeah. She sort of just goes, "Are you a spellcaster of some kind?"
Yep, I am. And I cast fire bolts into the air.
Okay.
You cast firebolt into the air, and she sort of looks at you impressed as she sort of just also points her hand up in the air, and she sort of does like a circular motion with her hand, and you see like this light ball of light just appear, sort of just hover around and sort of just orbit her for a little bit. I'm that's about the extent of my power. Since you're so great and powerful, do you think you can help me understand magic a little bit more?
Oh, what sort of magic?
Just magic. I'm still new to it.
Yeah, I could probably give basic theoretical knowledge of where to begin and start your practice.
Okay. She just goes, oh, thank you. It's the new job is a bit important, and I just don't know if it's I'm ready. So any help you can provide will be much appreciated.
What school of magic are you looking to focus on?
Mostly uh, abjuration and illusion, I think.
Yeah, I can try and help out with that. I specialize mostly in conjuration.
All I know is the just party tricks, really. But abjuration and illusion, those are the two things I have to know.
Yeah, I could
So-
probably help you learn maybe perhaps defensive and a little bit of offensive for protection.
Hey, so where do we start? As you're trying to help her as much as you can.
Yeah, I'll just try and help her out.
Okay. Yeah, so she spends the next hour or two just picking your brain about all things magic. Anytime you answer one question regarding abjuration or illusion magic, like she brings up two more questions. She is a student hydra, if you will, just like constantly asking questions. Anytime you knock down one, just more spring up. Um, yeah, you spend better part of an hour helping her with that. While you're on top of that mountain there. Everyone else, what would you like to do?
Just find Zero and follow them.
Yeah, tour.
Yeah, we can go on a tour. Where do you guys want to go?
I don't know.
Um,
We don't live here. It's a tour.
Damn, you live here? You live like this?
Okay. The only places of interest, I guess I should say, are up high. So I guess I'll take them up to the highest bridge.
All right. As you begin to make much the same climb that Chris did not too long ago, and you make your way up to the topmost bridge of the web walk, in front of the Leaky Peak bar. Make your way onto the bridge.
Yeah, I'll just bring them to the bridge, and then I will point in the direction of the Leaky Peak and just let them know that is the local tavern, if you can even call it that. It's kind of just a hangout spot and a place to eat. And then I'm gonna point to the temple and just let them know that is the place of worship around here. There's not a lot, but it's all we got.
Remind me who you guys worship again. Do you guys have the 10 here?
I think so, right? Yeah.
It's the the dominant religion is still the 10, though not everyone here is religious. The temple is just like a general worship temple. It's not quite a hall of the 10. It's just like an altar that you can pray to wherever the fuck you want to pray to.
Okay.
If you guys would like to go check out those spots, by all means. But there's somebody I need to speak to. It's kind of important, so you're welcome to come with me as well if you like.
Jana's gonna look at Riley. I don't know anyone here. Do you want to go explore or do you want to go with Zero? You're the only person I know here.
Well, I mean, I guess there's Chris. Where did he go off to?
I think he...
Make a perception check.
Yeah, did we even know that he went off?
Yeah, he's gone. Like you could
But
see him like
but
walk
we
up.
didn't know like
So
specifically he went up the mountain. He just kind of we turned away.
you
and
just
he saw him.
you saw him go up, and that's it. Yeah, Riley, with your high ass perception, you bastard. Yeah, you start looking around and you see the very familiar glint of golden knee pads up at the top of the shade, the smaller mountain up there.
Ah, here's my question. The fuck is he doing up there?
Probably Chris things.
That's not good.
Well,
Zero, how much do you trust him to not fuck things up?
That's a very good question. When Riley asks me that, I'm gonna summon Azek back to me and just gonna send him up there and just tell him, can you please keep an eye on the boy, and if anything weird or bad happens, come find me.
Understood. You send Azek up there. Yeah. Is anyone here afraid of heights, actually?
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, because as you're standing on the rope bridge, there are nets below you to sort of catch you if you fall, but it's still a rope bridge suspended like hundreds of feet across the mountain. Riley, it is cooler up here because you're higher up. The wind hits you a little bit harder, and it does take some of the edge of the heat off, and gets a nice needed respite of air, if a bit dry, still dry and dusty, but wind. And it sort of hits you. The bridge sort of just like shakes in one direction, begins to just wobble, like moves like 20 feet to one side, and just comes to rest again once the breeze passes. It's a wiggly bridge, and
This
it's
would
just
be
made of
quite
grass.
perilous if we were normal.
If we were normal.
You're like how high is that actually? Yeah, you're like 200 feet plus. It's a tall bridge.
Oh no, I fell off. I guess I'll use Featherfall.
I'm just saying, it's a tall bridge. All right. Yeah, ground crew. Zero, you're going somewhere?
Yeah, I was gonna ask really quick. Am I the fucking token? Am I able to use the mountain lift to go up to Elder's Barrow, or do I have to take the stairs?
The mountain lift is usually for people that go up to the Elder's Barrow for some purposes. Like, food delivery, or like if they're bringing like supplies up there, or the elders themselves. It's pretty good. Most people, if they wanted to go up there for whatever reason, would take the stairs.
Mm. Can I retcon something?
What?
Can I retroactively take 3 of the rations, like just sleight of hand them, just grab them from the port or whatever, and save them
Sure.
for the elders? Okay. It's just for the elders.
Okay.
And I guess I will begin heading to the mountain lift and allow everyone else to do whatever they want.
All right.
Is it windier up there?
Probably.
Alright, count me in.
you guys are the people I know here, so I guess I'm also going.
Okay. All right. Goodbye, Zero's token. Group token. All right. Cool. As you get to the mountain lift, it is just it is guarded. There's just 2 dudes. There's no uniform or anything, but it's just guys that they have the job of guard. Yeah, and they have slightly better equipment. One has like some like piecemeal armor, and one just has like an actual like sword, like a whole built sword. Yeah, as the mountain lift, it's just a wooden platform with a fairly long, thick rope attaches several pulleys at the very top. No gate or anything, but you see the small crew just sitting there waiting for instructions, really. But as you approach, the 2 guards sort of just stand up and begin to meet you, sort of stopping you in the tracks. Yeah.
I need to speak to the elders, please.
You want to take the stairs then?
Nope. I'm just gonna lock eyes with him, and I'm not gonna say or do anything rude, but I do want to try to roll an intimidation check.
Sure.
Just keeping eye contact with him.
Make an intimidation check. Okay. It's less that you intimidated him, and it's more that he doesn't know who you are, and he thinks you might be someone important. Because you just walked up and just said, "I am take the elevator," and you just like take the stairs. No. You just walked up to him, like just balls dragging on the floor, and he's just like, "Am I fucking up?" So it's like in like 3 seconds of fluster, he's like, yeah, go ahead."
Just fake it till you make it, man. It's like you do.
Yeah, as you are ushered onto the onto the what they call mountain lift, as this group of just like these burly dudes just begin to pull this giant rope. Just like you can hear them like calling out to each other like Olympic rowers would do to like sort of time their movements, and with each heave of the rope you can hear like the large wood platform you're on just like heave and scrape across the walls. It's not a good sound. Yeah, but slowly you are ushered up. It still takes a couple minutes, but it's better than walking up, at very least. Okay, as you make it to the top, yeah, Zero, you haven't really been up here. But as you come up, you don't come up into the actual ritual area yourself. You sort of come up into the empty Elder's quarters, if you will, just in a small subsection of the room. As you sort of walk out, the hallways are actually, they're not higher quality, they're just bigger. Actually, like, oh Jesus, an actual headroom, there's maybe slightly smoother, but like it's only marginally nicer up here. With just like a hallways, you can see there are torch sconces just lit. You hear some footsteps just sort of around. You're not sure which direction, as the sound sort of just bounces off the walls, echoing. Just it just becomes this general sound in the atmosphere. Yeah, and you're just in a like small alcove in the wall with just a hallway in front of you.
Do I know where they usually spend their time? Like, is there a fucking community lounge somewhere?
No, not really.
They don't have like a Starbucks up here?
Most people don't usually go up to the Elder's Barrow. Unless it's like the Elders, or they have some sort of like business up there, like, you know, supplies and stuff. Just generally people that are just like, you know, just the peons, if you will, don't go up there unless they want to actually like speak to the Elders, in which case they usually take the stairs. Yeah, as you hear the footsteps, it becomes this general sound as you just become, as you're just sitting there, that sound becomes more distinct and becomes louder.
Can I follow where the sound's coming from?
Yeah. As you sort of just, there's really pretty much just one hallway downwards. It branches off further down, but as you're sort of walking, the rest of you follow, because there's just not much else to do up here in the area. The pretty much the elevator shaft that you just exited from. Before you even get to the corner, just walking down the hallway, you see an elderly red tiefling man just sort of peek his head out from around the corner, sort of just bleary-eyed, just like blinking. Large curled ram-like horns, very long, dark ebony hair sort of dangles around past the shoulders. And as you sort of just like looking around, you can see that his eyes are just like this like milky white. Like he has pupils and stuff, but they're just like this ash gray. And he has this like tiny little green lizard just on his shoulder that's sort of just looking around.
Do I?
Uh,
Go ahead. Sorry.
The lizard sort of is looking down the hallway away from you, and you see the man just go, "Yes, who is that?" He's an old fuck. As the lizard sort of turns towards you, he just goes, "Ah, there you are."
Is there any etiquette I'm supposed to follow around the elders? Like, do we bow? What do we do?
Kiss him on the lips.
Not really etiquette. Not one that's taught. The elders is more like a job description than anything. It's just like a important job description. So like generally you treat them not like shit.
Okay.
But there's no like there's no like customs you have to follow or anything.
Do I know who this man is by name?
Yeah, you've heard. He's distinct enough. You gather this is probably Elder Sejanus, who is the oldest elder, which sounds like an oxymoron, but like he is the he's pretty much the only living tiefling that was there when Fentu was founded.
Oh wow.
Like he was one of the original people that put up that barrier outside.
Mhm.
And he's fucking old now.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Respect your elders.
Is there an elder that's in charge? It's Elder Vi, right?
There's the elders are sort of just, they have like a shared like leadership, if you will. They just have the same job pretty much.
So they're more like a council or a data
In a
cell.
way, yeah.
You can go talk to any one of them specifically if you wanted.
More or less, yeah. But currently one Elder Sejanus is before you, just not looking directly at you, but the lizard just staring at you.
I will walk closer and give a little respectful, awkward bow, because I don't think Zero knows how to talk to these people. Because I've never met them or come up close to them, right? They're just like people I know are here.
Pretty much, yeah. The only one you probably would have ever like seen it is probably Vae, which is the one that actually fucking goes down the mountain. But yeah, everyone else they just mostly stay up there. But yeah, you see this old ass red ass tiefling just staring at you, or the lizard staring at you at least. Interesting for someone to take the lift up to our abode.
It was kind of urgent. I hope you can understand. I came here to ask you or any of the other elders if there's anything I can retrieve for you in the cities, and for the materials needed to keep the barrier up. I have resources and means now to travel and retrieve these things to help keep the barrier up, as well as feed Fentu again. And I'm gonna take one of the rations out of my bag, and I guess I'm standing within 5 feet of him. I'll just hand it to him, reach out and hand it to him.
Yeah, it takes him a few attempts, but he does like swat and grab the ration pack out of your hand. Yes, I heard that we've suddenly come into an abundance of food. This was your doing then?
It was our doing, and I'll kind of step aside so Riley and Jana can also be seen.
Did you actually like do something like kiss their hand or bow or something?
No, I bowed just a little bit, just a little head bow.
Jana will mimic exactly whatever Zero does. Like,
Okay.
And does like look
Yeah,
like
just-
nervous, like do those like you know your eyes shift back and forth? Like, did I do that right?
Yeah. Riley, what do you do? Just same thing, or just you gonna?
I'm just gonna like from neutral position hand to open palm. Hello.
Open palm.
As the elder sort of just like slowly walks towards you, the eyes blinking one at a time, just never looking at you directly, but the lizard fucking staring directly in your face. Eventually, he makes his way towards you and just goes, "Yes, yes, I am. What was my name again? Elder Sejanus. I am one of the founders of this town, Fentu. It has been a long time since visitors have arrived." He sort of looks towards you, Zero. Visitors that should be providing supplies, not arriving. I assume you know a little of our recent troubles. If you had the foresight to bring us food.
Yes, I was told by another retriever of the situation. There's enough food here to last at least a year and a half, maybe, depending on how we ration it out, but it's okay for now. I would like to help long term improve the overall quality of life here, as well as find and develop ways to be a little bit more sustainable for ourselves here, but as of right now it's the rations. So
He sort of just adjusts his robes. Oh, I guess I forgot to describe what he's wearing. He's sort of wearing this a plain gray robe with like white cloth accents, and he has like this like a gnarled staff that kind of looks like a petrified tree. He's sort of just leaning on it. He sort of just begins to turn around, just walk. The lizard turns to face you still. And he's just walking down the hall and just still speaking. Well, now that the food situation has been resolved for the time being, though, if we do not get regular supplies, I fear it will not last. But that is part of a problem. You mentioned bringing components to keep the Twilight Shell.
yes, I need to know what to retrieve, but I'm happy to find the materials needed.
Well, it seems indeed you are reliable. He's just fully turned at the corner at this point, completely out of eyeshot. You can hear his voice still calling out, just like echoing. What is your names?
Can we follow him?
If you want to.
I'll follow him, yeah. My name is Zero.
Riley.
Jano?
And it's worth noting there's a fourth on the other peak.
The other peak?
Yeah, the one right across the divide.
Well, no doubt that they have met Nensa.
Ninsa.
Yeah.
The newest elder.
Oh.
Few people have, few of the youths
seem to take much stock into our lifestyle. I see people like Maldrick adorned in jewelry and cloths, and yearn to copy him instead of following the old ways. I, for one, am glad that's seen reason.
Yeah, the elder just begins walking to the hallway. The hallways look pretty much all the same, other than torch sconces. You see a couple of indents into the wall where you can see like almost looks like a bronze sarcophagus. It's starting to corrode a little bit, but it's fairly dry, so it hasn't gotten too bad. And just like every hallway or so has like these indents with this sarcophagus. It's just the sort of built and molded into the shape of a just like a tiefling form. The horns and just closed. But the other just keeps walking down hallways.
So you wish to find the components, then?
Yes.
We have 3 that we are in need of. 4 components are needed, but 1 is easy enough to acquire. Usually the supply caravans, provide us, but they have stopped in recent times. I believe they are being caught before they can fully leave the city. But in small batches, they would bring diamond dust. Hard to come by, expensive, but through their generosity, we've got a small supply still, but it is dwindling quickly. We need a certain species of flower. Deer rules call, it is called. They are usually found on gravestones. We believe they may have found them in the sister city across the pond. We also need salt. We need it for salt water, one of the components, but it is difficult to find large amounts of salt where we are in the mountains.
Jana
sort of
makes a
turns towards
confused
you.
face, like.
He turns towards you, and the lizard sort of just rotates to match.
Any questions?
Did I get everything we need? Dare rules call, which is a flower, and salt. That's it.
And
Salt and diamond dust.
Diamond dust.
do you say there's a 4th one?
The 4th ingredient is simply rocks from the mountains, but we have that in abundance.
I see.
Alright, here. Riley will immediately hand over 100 GP diamond dust.
When you thought that'd be the hard ingredient, I bet.
And you hand over 100 GP worth.
I don't know if this will suffice, but it's what we can afford to sacrifice at present moment.
He sort of just takes it in one hand. He sort of opens it, and the lizard crawls down his arm and just looks in. And then the lizard crawls up his arm and just goes back perched on his shoulder.
50, 100 gold pieces worth, yes?
That's my approximation.
This will be enough for 2 days. We need 50 gold per day, roughly.
Oh, wow.
We should probably book another trip to St. Lumina, huh?
Yeah, yeah. We shouldn't have any huge issue with getting these materials. It might take some time. How many days are all of you prepared to continue casting it without us?
We have until the magic is renewed by the end of the month. If we do not sacrifice the correct amount before the month is up, the shell will fade. It is 50 gold per day. It is 1 day rules cauliflower per day, and it is 10 pounds of salt per day. Times that by 73, and that is how much we need per month.
Damn, I like how we're basically paying rent here. That's crazy. That's out of character.
It is currently the 53rd. 20 days left. Have some supplies for about 5 more days, but after that we are dry on dust and salt. The flowers, we have enough for the rest of the month, but the more we can get, the better.
We will do what we can to collect these before it comes to that. We have another job to do, an emergency in Goldmud, but as soon as that's finished, we'll get on to this.
Take your time. No rush or anything.
And he just begins to walk just away.
I think he should get his priorities straight. No rush. Are you sure about that?
I got a little confused when you was explaining. Can you repeat one more time? They have to do it every single day, but they need to renew it at the end of the month?
They need to sacrifice a certain amount by the end of the month, pretty much. But like they usually do it per day. They don't have to. They can wait all at once, do it at the end, but they like to do it per day. As long as they have the correct amount sacrificed by the end of the month.
Okay. So what's the math on that then? Like if we got them a year's worth of all of that?
7,300 gold pieces worth of dust. 73 flowers. And 700 pounds?
Yeah, so the diamond dust is 50 gold per day. It's 3,650 gold per month.
Oh yes, a little better.
I think I
Thank you,
missed it.
voice in the sky, for reminding me.
What does this actually give us in the end? Food?
No,
A protective
the-
barrier, and that's it.
Oh. I mean,
Yeah,
that's still
there's
pretty
a-
important.
Yeah, there's an illusionary barrier around Fin2 that's been hiding them successfully, like for a century now. So it's kind of important. Yeah, I'm not sure how far Pure Soul Dogma comes out here, but it still helps to just kind of lay low and have a barrier up.
Got it. Thank you.
You are left alone, just chilling in the Elder's Barrow.
Amongst ourselves, do we feel like there's a better way? I don't know, spells or anything. Maybe that's a Chris thing. But this feels like another thing of like an unsustainable, because you have to keep getting these materials.
We're going to have to set up some sort of convoy, really.
I'm curious, like, why there's not. This is not like me criticizing D&D. This is just like in character, I guess. I know there's spells that allow you to cast it every single day for a year, and it's permanent after that point. I'm wondering why something like this could not just be permanent.
Resource fraud. Dun dun dun.
Indeed. For all my years of spell casting, I know not how these things truly work.
Could we... Sorry, are we still up there?
Yeah.
Can I insight check this guy?
Sure, what are you looking for?
Like, do I feel like he is withholding information of, like, maybe these materials are being used for something else? Or something he's not telling us?
Make an insight check.
Nope.
Hard to read. Yeah, he's a blind tiefling that just wandering about.
I guess I didn't ask him if the other two elders are okay.
Oh, there's 5 of the bastards.
There's 5?
There's 5, well, 6 now, I guess, with Nensa, but yeah.
Oh, I thought there's only 3 left. Okay. Can I cast message to him really quick? I know he left, right? Like he went around the corner or something.
Yeah, you can still hear his footsteps, but yeah.
I want to cast message to him and just ask, is there anything else any of you up here may need? Are the other elders okay?
Yeah, you hear sort of somewhat echo because he walks slow. He's still like pretty much within earshot, but like with message, I think you have to speak it, right?
Yeah.
So you hear like this like sort of like double feedback, where you can hear him from around the corner and also hear him in your brain. But he sort of just goes,
The elders are fine. Do your duty and we will do ours.
Okay. I'm gonna turn to Jana and Riley and just say, thank you for helping me thus far. I really appreciate it, but I do agree, long term, none of this is sustainable. And because of that, that's why I feel a responsibility to do something about Pure Soul Dogma and their presence in Sant, because that's the reason we're out here.
Yeah. I feel your pain. I think you've done a lot of strives to help this community. I think there's more help to be done, but at some point, you can't fix everything. That's not your burden to bear.
So are you suggesting that the Zodiacs declared war on the Pure Soul Dogma?
I'm not asking the Zodiacs to do anything. I'm just letting you know what I will probably be doing at some point.
We're
Well,
happy to help you as much as we can.
Think about it like this, right? How many belong to the Pure Soul Dogma versus how many people are in Ventu?
Probably more. I would say Pure Soul Dogma. Maybe?
But-
No? Simon?
Tieflings face persecution outside of Ventu too, right?
Outside of Sant, not as much.
So, but all of Sant. What are the major cities like, tiefling-wise?
They live in subservience, if at all, but for the most part, they are needlessly killed.
If we kill the killers, is that a net positive?
Works for me.
Who's counting?
That's certainly no way to live to begin with. I guess you should count me in.
I think I have some stuff I'm considering for the future to maybe see if we can avoid a full-out war, but if it comes to that, I'm not afraid of spilling some blood.
Well, lay out the options first, yeah?
Yeah. Let me see. I guess we're done up here if you want to go back down. Do you
Are we
guys
taking
want to
Right.
take the
the
elevator?
stairs down?
Do you want to take the stairs or the elevator?
We could just jump.
Well, you can.
We all can.
but only I'll survive.
No, Featherfall affects more than one person.
We didn't say that. You just said we can just jump.
We can. I'm not wrong.
Trust fall.
You guys want to go for a fucking ride? It would be awesome. The wind will feel nice.
Sure,
I'm
let's
down.
power move these people.
Alright. Let's find like the highest point and then just run, jump off, and I'll cast Featherfall.
Oh yeah, I guess we have to get out of here. Go up to the.
Are you jumping off the mountain or jumping down the shaft?
Not. Oh, I don't want to jump down the shaft. Certainly
Yeah,
not.
I think we're going. We're trying to go up to the top and jump off the mountain.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. It takes a bit of time, but you do find some staircases up. There's just some spiral staircases up to the top of the mountain. As you exit, you sort of exit onto this bowl-shaped indent in the mountain, and you can see these really like brilliant white, somewhat cream-colored arches just dotting the circumference of this bowl. In the center of the bowl is a sort of raised dais with a pillar, much like the pillars and arches that are surrounding it, but this one singular pillar in the center has a fairly large, like 7 foot, 8 foot tall piece of obsidian just embedded into it. And you sort of walk up into the like 10 feet away from it.
Wait a minute. Obsidian?
Yep.
It's not glass-like, is it?
Yeah, obsidian glass.
But it's not reminiscent of the spires.
Make a perception check.
Oh, fuck. Don't like that. Oh, no.
Okay. You look at it real hard. And it is obsidian, like actually obsidian.
So not the anchors.
No. This is solid, actual volcanic obsidian.
Thank fucking god, I was I was scared.
Good looking
Crisis averted. This is not an anchor.
out. Good looking out. But yeah, no. This is actually obsidian.
Can I try to do a bullshit ranger thing for a second?
Sure.
If I were to just like be quiet for a minute, can I tell like, are we like in an active volcano zone? Is there
Make
any way for me
a
to tell?
make a nature check.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Looking up, you sort of make your way to the edge of the bowl and look out, and you see like the sand-blasted, craggy nature of this, of the landscape around you and across from the other mountain. You can see the glint of golden knee pads across the way at the top. Looking down, you can see like the actual edges of the mountain. You see a lot of very craggy, very roughly created rock in a way. Like a lot of it's porous. You see, yeah, just very sharp, angular formations. And you look across, and you can see a good amount from the top of the mountain here, the tallest point in all of Fentu. You can see across the whole plains, it's pretty much the same story all the way down. With that natural 20 nature check, you surmise that probably most of the landscape was at one point volcanic. You're not sure if it's still volcanic, but at some point, yeah, volcanoes were like reigned supreme here.
But it's not like,
Yeah.
hey, that mountain is over there is smoking.
Yeah, I'll say, yeah, like the current area around it doesn't seem to be volcanic anymore. Maybe it once was, but
Okay.
it seems Sant and volcanic activity have a very close relationship at some point in history, just judging from the landscape.
How long, I'm asking this to Zira, how long have you guys been here? Like as a whole, as a group of people?
How long, Simon?
A little less than a century,
Yeah.
like 90-ish years.
I told Jana that.
Thank you. I feel bad. I feel like I'm undermining anyone who's ever lived here. Like, I know more about this place than you do. But also, I feel like I just want to cover our bases.
You good.
All right. Cool. So you're jumping off the mountain.
I don't see why not.
Okay. Sure. Pick a point to jump from.
Where we jumping, boy? Where we dropping, boys?
Probably like I don't know, like from here, and then wee.
Okay. Cool. Everyone make an athletics check.
Yeah,
this is
buddy. I'm gonna
fine.
fucking trip off.
Oh no.
Chill.
Oh no.
It's a good thing we have Featherfall.
Can I not make an acrobatics check instead? That sucks.
Well, we'll see.
Okay.
Okay, so Jana, you make it off without too much issue. You don't get too much distance. Riley and Zero, as you sort of kick off, like both of the footholds below you crumble, and you kick off, and you begin you make it like 3 feet out, and you begin tumbling down the mountain, or about to tumble down the mountain.
Was unlucky. I'm just gonna cast Featherfall right away.
Okay. Okay, so you cast Featherfall. You're pretty close to the ground. Once you hit the ground, Featherfall ends. Or like against the side of the mountain once you hit like solid foothold.
All right, I'm gonna jump off and cast Featherfall again.
Make an athletics check.
Cool.
All of us?
That's a lot better.
Oh.
Okay. Jenny, you sort of you begin to like, you think you're gonna sail past, but like as your two companions that decided to jump off a mountain alongside with you, catch their feet. They hit the ground slowly, but then they use that sort of momentum to kick off the mountain properly. As right, you cast Featherfall again, you all begin to slowly drift down.
So are we all good then? Like, I don't feel like I need to go grab anybody.
For now, how long does Featherfall last?
60 seconds, but I can recast.
Okay, yeah, you should be okay, I think. I think you descend like 60 feet per round or some shit like that.
Something like that.
Okay. Okay, I'll say you make it down to about, yeah, around the bridges or so, where you hit that area as you will catch yourself around the lip of the mountain where the bridges end. You definitely surprise a couple people. As you're going down, you pass by the temple and you see like 4 people just looking at you gobsmacked, just falling slowly down the mountain. And you sort of land around the bridges.
It
like, you
didn't
sort of-
hurt.
Yeah, they sort of look over the edge, just see you just chilling. Okay. So, mission got from Elder. And jump off mountain complete. Chris.
Yep.
You are giving a impromptu tutorial, like tutoring session, to some just random person up on the top of a mountain you met. Yeah, you're in the middle of like going through the like all the exponents that you need to like carry over when doing certain like arcane like calculus. And she sort of just goes, "Oh, I'll see if my brain can wrap around all that. Thank you, Chrysosthenes, was it?
Yep.
Well, it was nice meeting you. You are a very good teacher.
Yeah, I would actually think perhaps maybe I could teach you 2 spells.
Okay.
Do you have any paper around?
She just looks around and like she brought like a small stack of books and just rips out a page.
Okay, I'll help. I'll write a couple of spells down. 1 abjuration and 1 illusion spell. That is fairly simple, but it can be used for a lot of different things. And I'll copy down mage armor and disguise self for her.
Also, write down
Okay.
your number.
Winky wonk. Cool. So spell scrolls specifically require like a magical type of paper. So like you can write down the actual like method of casting it. She won't be able to like copy to a spell book or anything like that. But if maybe she's smart enough, she can figure out just how to cast it on her own.
So, like, if she was able to purchase her own ink and paper, like magical inks and paper, would she be able to copy what's on the paper here onto that?
Maybe she's smart enough. She might be. Worth a shot.
I'll instruct her to do that, and I'll give her enough money to buy those inks and papers.
As you sort of offer her money, she sort of just stands there. Doesn't really take it immediately and just goes, "That's it's kind of you, but I don't. There's not a whole lot of places for me to buy things, especially not in this town. We don't
I
get a
assume-
lot of things.
I assume your job is related to your employers.
In a way, it was cobbling what we have together.
Perhaps they'll have resources that you can use.
Maybe I'm still a bit new. Disguise self.
Yeah.
Well, part of my job is to uphold appearances, so this might be useful. Thank you, Chrysostomus. I'll see what I can find up in my, I guess, new home now. And she sort of just points. You see across the way, across the mountain, you can see a couple of arches. Make a perception check.
Okay.
Okay. You see like 3 dots like sort of leave the top of the mountain. You're not sure what they are, but they sort of just like careen down the mountain and then just slowly come to rest at the bottom of it. But as Neds is sort of pointing over to these series of archways at the top of the mountain, these white arches, sort of just goes, "That's my home. Nate is now, so if you feel like coming and teach me again, that's where I'll be."
Sounds good. I know my home was also in the mountains. So there's a little bit of in common there.
I think you should be well accustomed to climbing up and down. I am still getting used to that part.
It still gets tiring, especially on this mountain.
Yeah. Well, thank you again. I'll continue my studies, and hopefully in time I'll be ready for the job.
Yep, it was nice to meet you.
And she begins to make her way down the mountain, just slowly, just as you were slow climbing up here. You now have the mountain to yourself. As you begin to copy down the spell scrolls. You're copying down monster translocation.
Yeah.
Cool. How much time do you have left on that?
4 more hours.
Oh, so this is it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you spend the next 4 hours or so copying the scrolls down. The wind picks up, as so does the heat, but eventually it does cool down as it begins to get closer to evening. The sun's still up, but it's getting there. And then you take a rest.
Yep. I'll take a rest for another 4 hours.
All right. Cool. As you begin to just close your eyes and meditate, you can't see outside as you close your eyes, but you can almost feel as if time is just passing forward way faster than it normally does, as you just sort of feel the wind pick up and fall, ebb and flow, as you just find a small, serene little spot at the top of the mountain. Cool. Ground gang. You jumped up a fucking mountain, yo.
Hell yeah, we did.
Cool. Sounds
Right,
like you
so
do.
Zero, you have more business, right?
Yeah, there's a few people I need to speak to privately, if that's all right. But two of you are free to explore and do as you please here.
Won't be long for this
I
ride,
don't
huh?
really know what's here, I guess.
Well, we could always throw our expertise at the tavern, or whatever it is.
Can I? Let me see my spell slots. Can I cast Sending to one of my tiefling friends?
Sure.
Are you gonna hire a babysitter for us?
Somebody to keep you company if you want.
You're hiring
Gotta
a
get it.
babysitter for us.
Frankly, we have each other. And where's Answin?
Yeah, where is Answin?
She stayed
And
on
the
the
dragon?
Yeah.
Wait, did Answin stay on the dragon?
For now, because I think she almost died getting here.
Okay.
I would like
how
to
about I
ca-
take this second to use my little whatever I have to communicate with Answin and just be like, check in.
Yeah, you get a reply back pretty quick. You just hear showering. It's colder than it is outside.
I used my one word. Sounds good.
All right. Zero.
I'm casting Sending to Leland.
Okay.
And where are we right now? We're like by the temple.
Yeah, give or take.
All right. I'm just gonna say, hey, old friend. I have some guests visiting next to the temple. If you'd like to come show them around a bit while I take care of some business.
Okay. As you send to Leland, you just hear back in your head. What? You're in town? You're back? Hold on, I'll be right there.
I tell Jana and Riley, I have a friend coming. Stay here, and he'll find you, and I'll be right back. And I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself. I'm gonna go find my mom.
Okay.
You know, I don't know what they're in such a rush for.
We got ditched.
Don't they want to see their friend?
It's fine. I'll see him when I see him.
That just means we get to ask embarrassing zero questions. And
This
that's
is true!
You sure do.
Okay. As you go off to find where you think your mom might be. Jenna and Riley, you just wait by the temple, and in like 5 minutes, you see everyone around you is pretty lethargically moving, just generally a slow, calm atmosphere. You look across the rope bridge and you see this sort of deep orange, almost like a dark yellow tiefling just hauling ass across the rope bridge. Just straight up, just arm sprinting. Like, there's gaps in the rope bridge. He's not missing any one of them. As he gets closer, you can see he has a sort of like a nest of curly red hair, freckles, a thin tail, and and just like stubby little brown horns coming out of the forehead around the hairline. Sort of like yellow dim, almost slightly glowing eyes, and he wears what kind of looks like almost like a leather bodysuit in a way. Like it's very tight to the skin. Just careening towards you, full sprint, and just stops around where you are. It just sort of like bending forward, hands on knees, just like panting heavily. Hi, I'm assuming you're Zero's friends.
Yeah.
That's us.
Sorry.
I'm
Hi.
assuming you're also Zero's friend.
Yes, where's Zero?
We don't know.
Just missed them.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, I'm Leland. I'm just, chilling here, taking in life. You know how it is, starving.
Oh, you'll be pleased to know that if you head a few stories down, there's some food for you.
Oh yeah, I know.
Oh.
He sort of he unloads his pockets and he has like 3 different whole every you ever see those people in the buffets that like take everything in like one plate? He's taken every part, every at least one of every ration.
Yeah, not
You
so
want some?
starving anymore, huh? Oh no, we're good.
Picks him some nuts off the ground. Well, you're lost, and he just he palms it. She just shoots it into his mouth. Well, anyway, hi. Yeah. Did you introduce yourselves already? I was speaking too fast to catch it.
No.
Okay. Hi, what's your name?
Riley?
I'm Jana.
Right. He swallows. So, new in town, huh?
Yeah. How
I
many?
think Riley's actually gonna verbally laugh. You know what? Riley's gonna turn to him. He's gonna just throw 10 gold at him. I don't know if there's much to buy here, but you are quite the show.
He just throw 10 gold and he some of them just scatter around. He just catches them all sort of just very quickly. He's very spry on his feet. Yeah, he just pockets it. He outturns one pocket full of nuts and just replaces it with gold. Yeah, there's nothing to buy here. Don't use money. We have no shops, but if you make it to the city, that'll be pretty useful. Thank you.
You planning on heading out anytime soon?
No. I'm good. It's kind of a well, it's not doing so hot back in the area right now. It used to be fun. Now it's dour and dark. I hate it. Don't like it. Leave it for other people. Anyway, let me show you around.
Sure.
He just walks around and just walks you back across the bridge he sprinted across. And just brings you to the leaky peak, and there's a small sign that just says Leaky Peak, nothing fancy. Inside there are a number of small tables. It's a fairly large chamber, though it's fairly sparsely populated. There is the semblance of a bar.
Is there a kitchen?
You're just sniffing around. You do smell cooking food. And you see some steam sort of exiting a door on the far right, where another man seems to be sitting there. Just a fairly portly, a bright orange tiefling. Their horns are straight close to the head, white hair, just kept in a ponytail, and just wearing a dirty apron with a smoking pipe in his front pocket. Fairly stocky. Leland sort of just walks up, slaps the table. Raz, drinks, now, please. You see the older tiefling behind the bar just looks at the two of you. Right? And just goes into the kitchen. There is a number of people around here, actually. It's a little bit more populated. The atmosphere, just judging from it, it seems to be a bit more jovial now. You see, there's actually food on the table. These people just like drinks in hand, singing, dancing. A lot of people just eating, just minding their business and just scarfing themselves, though. As Leading Sir just like ushers you over and just like points you towards these two chairs, free chairs on the table.
Riley will call up a seat for now.
So, you're friends of Zero. That means you have lots of stories to tell. Tell me.
How about we do a 1-for-1? We tell something to Zero, then you tell us something of Zero.
Make a persuasion check.
Because we both know that Zero doesn't want us talking about them.
This is true.
No.
And I'll say this out loud. And we both know Zero doesn't want us talking about them. That's why we gotta do a 1-for-1 trade.
You know what? You drive a hard... Yes. Okay. Right, you first.
I'll look at Riley. What's the Zero story?
I can't really think of anything off the top of the head that doesn't immediately incriminate us.
Oh yeah, I was about to tell the foot story.
Yeah, maybe leave that one off the table, just like the foot was.
Well, now you have to tell me.
Okay, well, if we're doing a 1-for-1, Zero once carried a foot around in their pocket for like 2 weeks. Like
His eyebrows sort of like furrow, and it's just like you like a person foot or like a rabbit's foot, like a Lucky's rabbit's foot.
Like a person's foot that was
Okay.
We don't understand why either.
I think at some point they realized it was a mistake and they got rid of it, but it was a good amount of time had passed.
Well, that is... You ever have those like stories that you tell that leave more questions than answers?
Mm-hmm.
We
Yeah,
are
that's
not
one of
willing to answer those questions. Mostly because we don't know.
Alright, let's hear a Zero story.
All right, well, one time... Zero, what's a Zero story?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Make me look like a dork. I don't know.
Okay.
All right, so one time it was me, Zero, and a couple of other friends, haven't met them, on a job in a city.
Alright.
And my job is to, run pretty fast, make a big commotion, slap apples out of people's hands, that sort of thing, and just have the guards after me. Well, one guard, he's pretty fast himself, caught up to me, and well, Zero, being the sneaky little fuck that they are, went behind him and just undid his belt buckles and straight pulled the pants off him.
Nice.
That honestly doesn't surprise me too much. It's pretty in character.
I'm surprised.
Where did that voice come from? Why did it sound so much like Chris?
You just hear in your ears, I'm surprised.
I feel unsafe.
Okay. As you're telling stories back and forth, eventually some drinks are laid in front of you. Not great drinks. It's like the bare minimal of beer. Like it is mildly alcoholic. And some food is cooked food is actually laid in front of you. Again, nothing fancy, just like a There's like a very simple stew with just a lot of the food they brought in, just like crumbled in hardtack and like dried meat. Uh, okay, as
Jana wants to eat and drink as very much as little, knowing that this is like their rations.
Yeah. This doesn't feel right.
Like, I'll do it just
Really?
to be social, and it's weird to not, but I'm like very much like not taking much. And making sure that Leland is.
okay, make sure Leland eats.
Yeah.
I'd like to also like take a look at like how many patrons are around.
Yeah, it's
Because
really
you said
large
they're
chamber.
kind of being jovial because there's food on the table now, but like, is there anybody around who like looks like they haven't eaten much?
In here,
Yeah.
Everyone is generally like somewhat live and like thin, but almost pretty much everyone here also has food in front of them at some point.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a number of like 2 hours or so since you brought the food in from where you are, at least. So it's word has gone around. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, as you barely touch your food, Lethan just goes, "Are you gonna eat that?"
It's all yours.
He just takes it, starts scarfing it down. Yeah, but he spends the next however long you guys want to stay here, just like walking around, showing you as many of the sites as he can. He goes up and shows you the temple, which is a very simple like room with like a single altar that has no real iconography. It's just an altar with like actually like the only piece of nice cloth, like not dirty cloth in the place, just laid out. It takes you down to the aquifers. It's a nice underground area, just much like the elevators that you took before, except is going down this time, and you see a fairly dimly lit, if at all, just pool of water, pretty much. It's pretty much all stone. The rock is very, very porous. You see some people just bathing there, and you see people a little bit further upstream taking drinking water. Yeah, and the dude's running you ragged. Like he's going through like all the hallways, like every single room, explaining like all the different types of like purposes and like mild history when he knows it.
So refresh
Yeah.
me. Is this like you either have to be born here or somebody takes you here, right? Like under what circumstances do newcomers show up?
Yeah, a lot of us were born here, especially the younger generation. A couple of people come in through the they just find it, honestly. There's a couple of people outside that are a little bit more sympathetic to our plight. So they tend to show the way, and just back when we had people coming in, merchants and caravans and such, they'd sometimes bring in new migrants, or occasionally some people would find us on their own through sheer luck.
How does
But,
it work with the protection spells that you guys have going on?
The protection spells only work against looking in magic. I don't know the details, but it stops people from, using magic to find us.
Okay.
If you walk through it, it actually has this cool little whooshy effect when you walk through it, like, stars. It's pretty cool. But you can just, if you find the place, you can just walk in anytime you want.
Interesting.
Not much of a barrier. And to think of how resource intensive it is.
And we're in the middle of the desert, Who's going to walk in the middle of the desert randomly? Unless you're real desperate, like some of the people that come here.
True.
Hmm.
So what's your sorry, also remind me, so who is like the number one like enemy? Is it I'm trying to call them dog saints, that's not their name. Soul
Yeah,
Dogma.
yep. The pure soul dogma. Been a real pain in our ass since ever, I think. Yeah, they don't like us.
But it's not
Do you
so
know
much
that they're
that they would just come
completely
out
wrong?
walking.
What was that?
Go on, Jenna.
But they don't hate you so much that they would just go like walk out in the desert.
Oh, they've tried. They just, can't find us because far away, our mountain just looks like a normal mountain. No civilization, no smoke, nothing there. And if they try to use magic, it doesn't work. As long as we're inside the little barrier, it only goes like a mile out, so they have to be really lucky to find the mountain. Gotten close a couple times, but we're kind of far away from the city, so they don't like to travel too far out. Because if something went wrong, they'd starve to death out there, or probably dehydrate first. Ever seen a dehydrated corpse? It's not pretty.
Have you ever seen a corpse that's riddled with black crystals? That's also not very pretty.
No, but that looks pretty cool. Sounds pretty cool.
Not really.
All right. Any more questions for Leland?
Hmm.
Your tour guide.
When's Zero's birthday? Because do we know? I don't think we know.
I don't think we know.
Zero. When's Zero's birthday?
I don't know.
Choose a date.
Can I just roll a die?
Sure.
Yeah. What do you want me to roll?
Hold on, let me just.
Roll a d4 for the season, right?
Isn't it 5?
5.
Roll a d6 first. Okay. I roll a d100. It is harvest 27th.
We just passed that.
Yeah.
I need to write that down. I'm gonna forget that.
Wait, what's today's date?
Like harvest 53rd.
We're gonna throw Zero belated birthday party now that we know.
Yeah, kind of weird they didn't bring it up.
No, that seems on brand. What's Zero's favorite thing?
What's Zero's favorite thing?
Like food or activity or anything from like childhood that maybe we might not be cued in on?
Jewelry and luxury goods.
We know that. I'm
I
talking
didn't know.
like, oh, they love this like honey candy or something that like we wouldn't know.
Maybe like a fruit or something that's more native to the area. Doesn't Sant have like peppers? Did you say Sant has like a peppers that they export?
Around Miara, there is like there are farms by the main capital that do grow produce. Stuff like like pears, cactus fruits, small melons, stuff like that.
Sure, cactus fruits. Sure.
Isn't that a little bit too normal?
That's what
You see any
makes it
cactuses around here?
secret.
I don't know, I just feel like a desert would probably be filled with them, right? Maybe
Has
it's more
them-
for nostalgia.
No.
Hmm?
Has them, yes. Filled with them, no. Not a lot of water. If you go on a long trek across the desert, it's mostly rocks and salt rocks. You like rocks? A lot of rocks. A lot of sand. Wear shoes when you want to sand. Sand burns.
Yeah, the sand I'm used to is on the coast.
The sand here it's like one big skillet, you know? Or roast you dry.
I think I prefer to not be
So, I do have one question. Have there been any, perhaps, rumors or folklore tales about, I don't know, maybe some sort of fish in the sands?
Not to my knowledge. That'd be pretty cool, though. Sandfish? Wow, I wish we could fish in the sand.
Well, I
we would
don't
starve.
think
That'd
it would
pretty cool.
be an entire species, maybe just one instance.
No. You don't get a whole lot of fish around here.
Truly a shame. Were there anything I could do to fix that, I would.
You gonna create your own species of sandfish? Is that something you can do?
In theory. Of course, nobody's crazy enough to test that out. Even I have my limits. I don't think I'd comb the desert looking for something that might not exist. Well, unless Old Faithful points me in the right direction. I'm gonna actually take out my crystal and see if there's any reaction.
Yeah, you pull out your temperature retort. No.
Well, if there is, it's nowhere close to here.
Alright. So I'll Leland is just fucking literally running you across the entire town. Just through every avenue. He shows you the town's panic room. You know, like
The
you do
town's
when you're going on
what?
a panic room.
Panic room.
Yeah. And, you know, as you do on a tour guide. And here's my nuclear bunker. It's just the very large room with several pillars and just like it's just a fairly large room. And he just explains, like, yep, this is where people go when in case shit hits the fan, this is where we hide.
How often do you guys have to come here?
Never, actually. Haven't heard of anyone using it yet. Yeah, no one's really found it. I mean, there's a couple of monsters apparently that showed up a couple times, but they just seem to pass by, and we just everyone just hid there to the left.
Like, what kind of monsters?
I don't know. I wasn't born yet, but you know, the ones that slink across the sands or burrow through the sands, or did they fly across the sands?
Tremors?
Maybe
Bullet?
bullets. I don't know. There are a couple, like, sandworms outside.
Seems
They don't
like-
usually bother us, but, you know, I've seen them just come up and swallow people.
That sounds dangerous.
It is. I have a trick to defeating them, though. You want to hear it?
Sure.
Run.
No. No, I don't think Chris would do that.
Who's Chris?
Nobody important.
Well, if this Chris is a friend of yours, that seems like a rude thing to say.
Friend is, maybe a bit too charitable.
He's
Oh, you
Comrade,
really
more
don't
like.
like this Chris guy, huh? Oh, did he steal money from you? Did he owe you money?
like him, but like, where is he right now? Like, you know, we can't be held responsible for what he does.
I'm surprised this place isn't up in flames, actually. Do we have a view of the peak right now?
From where we were, yeah, I'm sure.
Alright, I'm gonna look up and see if there's anything going on up there.
Here where your passive perception, look up the glint of gold knee pads still up there.
Well, he hasn't moved. That's a good sign.
Maybe he's sleeping.
Elves don't sleep.
That scares me then.
Right. Cool. So, yeah, Leland, the city tour guide, Cool. So while that's happening, Zero. You sort of try to go figure out where your mom would probably be. At this point, a little bit later in the day. The kids are probably having lunch or something with all the new food, so you assume your mom's probably back home. So you go and try to find her, and yeah, sure enough, she's just sitting there, just in a chair, just currently writing something down in a desk. As you sort of walk in, she sort of just puts down a quill and just puts her hands on her lap and just ushers you to a separate chair next to her. Can we talk?
Yeah.
Cool.
I walk over and I sit down.
Okay. Cool. Alright, so as you just sit down, and it's somewhat dimly lit in here, it's not a whole lot of light, but you still make out your mother's features as she sort of just stares across at you from this table. She sort of just goes, Zera, why did you leave? Why did you say nothing?
I'm sorry. I was going through some feelings after we lost a member of the group, and I overheard some stuff you said. Something that sounded very riddled with guilt, and with everything going on, I decided to go out and find answers for myself. Because these are things I don't think you've ever wanted to talk about, like your life before Fintu or anything like that. I hope you can understand just the curiosity that got the better of me, and I saw how distressed you were, and I didn't feel right about just sitting back and letting it happen, so I left with intention to help you and get out of here. But a lot of stuff has happened now, and I think I'm looking at the larger picture, and I want to help Fintu as a whole, for all of us to get out of here.
Are you looking for a way to help?
Yes.
What have you been doing outside? I thought you were I hated you. Hated seeing you go out. And going to the cities like that, but this time it was... I didn't know where you were for months.
I'm sorry. I
Sort of just, wipes away, gets the sniffles up and just wipes away a single tear a little bit.
So long as you're back with me, Zera.
I've been traveling for some time. I've uncovered some very interesting things about the world, I suppose. It's a lot, more than I can tell you in one sitting, and half of it I don't know if you'd believe me or even want to hear it, but I did come back after I was informed of the food shortage, but I'm not done out there. So after today, this was an emergency, but for some days after, I'm going to be returning with my group I've been traveling with to the mainland to help with some monsters or something, and after that I will be returning to help the elders with the barrier, but I'm probably going to be coming and going, and I hope you can understand that this is stuff I just have to do.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm not good at that. Oh!
Hell yeah.
You can see that you're not the most perceptive person around, but you know your mother. You know when she's uncomfortable, and you can see her just like squeezing in tightly balled fists, like the edge of her dress, just like squeezing the fucking juices out of it. But eventually, the fist relaxes, and she just sighs heavily and gets up and just walks into the next room. You hear some rummaging for a bit. And she comes back with a very nice necklace, actually. It's like made of like this braided chain of gold, and there's like a pendant at the center of it that's sort of shaped a bit like a cloud inside of a circle, and that seems to be made of like silver or platinum. As she sort of just kneels down while you're sitting in the chair and just puts it around your neck. This was my mother's. It was she told me it was a lucky charm. I had to repair it a bit. Nicks and scratches I just had to polish out. I was going to give it to you at some point, but it's you left before I could. It seems you're she's like fully crying at this point. You can see tears streaming down her face. Seems the gods have funny plans. I always thought this was a lucky charm. I was told to protect me, so maybe it'll protect you while you're outside.
I give my mom a big hug.
Yeah, she just leans into you and just full sobbing. After a few seconds, you just hear her in between the crying. You just hear her whisper into your ear, "Please promise me you'll come back."
I promise. We killed a dragon, you know.
You hear just he giggles a bit. You always have the funny stories. Whatever you say.
Ouch.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to say to your mother?
Nah, just give her a big hug.
Yeah, as you give her a big hug, she sort of just straightens up, wipes the fucking the snot from her face. As she just holds your hands a bit and just sort of pulls you up to your feet, gives you one more big hug. a kiss on the forehead, and just yeah, this time instead of you running away from home, you are yeah, just met with the gaze of your mother sort of ushering you out the door. Just with a smile on her face.
Hell yeah. I Naruto sprint down the hallway.
Okay. You get a +5 bonus to your speed in doing so.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so sprint down the hallway. Anything anyone would like to accomplish while still in Fento?
If everyone's eating, no.
Yeah.
I'm just resting.
Sure.
I'm gonna use my last level 3 spell slot to cast Sending again to Agrabane and just let him know, hey, I'm in town, where can I meet you?
Yeah, you get a fairly long pause as you send to Agrabane. You just get a single word response or a single city response. Miari.
I see. That'll have to wait for a different day then. Cool. Then I guess I will go meet up with the group, track them down.
Okay. All right. Cool. Easy enough to find because Leland's loud. They're roughly around after doing like a whole loop of the town at least once. They're roughly back in the area where you told Leland to go, as fucking Leland is there pretty much just challenging you to like find any animals on the mountains, just as like a apparently kids do this for fun because there's like not a whole lot to do while you're just like sitting around in the town. So it's like, yeah, you just gotta count the birds. Make sure you organize them by color or size. You get 3 points for that. Oh, hey, 0. Okay, as you just wander up and rejoin the party.
I also give Leland a big hug.
Yep, he hugs back. The two of you, you can see him just like still eating nuts out of his pockets in mid hut. Yeah, Zero, you can hear the crunch in your ear. It's not very stealthy as much as he tries to be. So, Zero.
Yeah.
What's this about a foot?
I had reasons, and
We're carrying on a decaying foot?
You wouldn't understand. You wouldn't get it. You had to be there.
You had a foot in your bag. A whole foot. The end of a human being. The bottom half of a foot.
You just don't get it, man.
You stuffed it into a sewer wall.
I'm gonna just turn to Jana and Riley and just say, Jesus, how much did you tell him?
Janice
Who's
just gonna
Jesus?
shrug. We had a lot of time to kill. What else were we gonna talk about?
Oh, would you have preferred that we talked about the time you were devoured by a frog?
You were bored by a frog.
So were you!
Over half
We
of
were
us
bored at the
bored by
same
a
No,
time!
I was.
So
You
was
hear
me,
shouted
what
from
you
atop the mountain.
up, Chris!
You're
Although
echoing from
Chris
across the pond.
loudly
No, I was
announcing-
bored by fuck.
Chris loudly announcing for the entire town to hear that he has a vor thing is also on brand.
So Zero, it sounds like you've been experimental while you're outside there.
Let's just say we've all been through our fair share of hardships.
I'm just gonna like playfully elbow him and roll my eyes or whatever.
Right, Zero. Right, Zero. Question.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
What about it?
No, you left.
Oh, I had some stuff to do. Have you talked to Agapane in a while?
Yeah. Yeah. He's. I don't think it's your fault, but I think he just got angrier, which is it's saying something. He's fucking angry, but you know, holy crap.
Did he tell you anything about Nyx?
No, I mean, she's dead, isn't she?
She is not dead.
What do you mean?
Zero has like a very serious look on their face. I have access to some magic now, and I saw her in the city. She's very much alive, and she is working for the other team right now. So, if for some reason you hear from her, or you know anyone else who has, do not trust her. Do not bring her back to Fin2. I will do my best to handle it right now, but don't trust her. I'm gonna put like both my hands on his shoulders and like look him in the eyes, just like please, please. Cause he's too fucking nice.
Yeah, yeah. The entire time that he was traversing around the city with you, he's been a jovial, happy guy. For the first time in this whole day you've known him, pretty much, he just has like this very sullen and like shocked look. A few seconds pass. He pipes up. Is she in the capital right now?
Did I know what city she was in when I used that sign?
You saw like buildings that are reminiscent of Miari.
Is Miri the capital?
There's two capitals technically, but the main one and if anyone really goes to is Miari.
Yeah, I believe she was.
He just begins to sort of back up into the residential corridors and just says, "I gotta go."
Can I insight check that?
Make an insight check.
Oh no, I'm not good at that. Fuck. Oh no.
Yeah, hard to read. He is shocked and surprised.
I'm gonna grab his wrist before he leaves, and I'm just like, wait, do you know where Killed is?
Yeah, the brother should be both in Miari right now.
Okay. Thank you, Leland.
Yeah. And he just begins to jog down the hallway.
That was a sudden shift in character. That must have been quite the bomb you dropped on him.
Yeah, before I left, we did a job in the city, and we had a friend who we thought to be dead. And after some scrying and investigation, after the Day Rules Gate, she's not dead, and she's in the city, working with Pure Soul. I don't know what the brothers are doing in Miari. I have a hunch what one of them is doing, but like I said, Golmud is more important right now, and this will have to wait for another day, but I will need to come back at some point.
Well, we've got a dragon and we've got teleportation, so as long as knee pads up there is willing to cooperate, which so far he has been.
Knee pads.
What, they're very shiny from this angle.
I clap them together.
You hear the golden clack of two golden knee pads slapping together, echo resounding across this mountain valley.
His timing is insane. It's like he knows.
Yeah. -1 Leland. You see your teleporting compatriot up there. The sun is beginning to go down at this point.
Should we go grab him or wait for him?
How long has he been resting? It's out of character.
He's been up for a number of hours. He's been resting for about 2 hours-ish.
He's not within 120 feet of me, is he?
No, he's not.
Well, here. Let's decide like so. I'm gonna send to Halamar. What's the sitch on that end? Any complications arise in the time we've been gone?
Yeah. Well, no. Well, they've been coming out. Beach attacks.
Okay, so yeah, we maybe need to speed through this one. Looks like the situation in Goldmud is not good.
I'm gonna summon Azek back to me, and I guess Azek should have been with Chris this whole time, I think.
Yeah. He's been hovering over him.
Can I get out like a little piece of paper, write a little note that just says how much longer do you need, and then I'll give it to Azek to take to Chris.
Understood. Okay. As you summon Azek, write the note, send it to Chris. Chris, you feel a sort of pecking at your thigh as you're resting.
2 more hours.
Okay. As you write that on the paper, Azek returns. 2 more hours.
I show Riley and Jano.
I'll send to Halamar. We've got minimum 2-hour hold up here. Do your best to stay alive in that time, I guess.
We should be okay. It's skirmishes, minor injuries, more daring.
Well, I guess it's not too much of an emergency, but we really do need to get back.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see you guys on the dragon, unless you're accompanying me right away.
I'll come with you.
What's the evening air like?
What?
What's the evening air like?
The sun is definitely a lot cooler. It's still dry, but it's not that oppressive, like constantly hot feeling. And now it's just like when you breathe in, it just feels almost like ashy and dusty. And as the sun begins to set further, it actually gets a little chillier in a way. Some sun is still there, so it's not like freezing cold, but it's getting there. It went from extremely hot, and within only a span of a few hours, it's like it went to like a moderate temperature, then it's just dropping slowly.
May as well take the scenic route.
Okay, you're gonna climb down.
Yeah, he's gonna slowly make his way down here.
Yeah, and it takes a number of minutes, but as you do, just weaving through the bridges, down the ladder and stuff. Um, the sun sets sort of between the mountains, and it's actually kind of beautiful in a way, as the sky gives way to the purples and oranges on this fairly clear day, almost no clouds. Um, the sun slowly begins to drift down over the horizon as your prime spot to look out over to the to your dragon on one side and to the sunset on the other.
Picturesque, if nothing else.
I've seen the what's it called? The that picture in like New York City with like a sun in between the two towers.
I've not.
It looks pretty cool. It's a bit like that.
I don't know if my mic picked me up, but I was going with Riley.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Zero, what you doing?
I'm gonna head up to the mountain with Chris and just I'll travel back to the dragon with him.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Eventually, you make your way up to the peak. The two of you, Riley and Janet, you make your way down from the peaks. Yeah, just slowly filtering out to the dragon. The dragon, while there, didn't seem to have incurred any violent actions thus far. While it is the weirdest thing to have happened, there's enough weird things that people are questioning. Like, is this a bad thing now? I don't know. So like, it was mostly left alone because in the same day, some like a tiefling that was gone for 3 months suddenly appeared out of thin air, said he had food, dropped off a year's worth of food, brought in like a bunch of like just strangers that were walking around town. The dragon appeared. It was a weird day. So it was mostly left alone. You can see there's a couple of just people hanging around it actually. Just like a few kids.
They're not causing you any trouble, are they, Polaris?
No, I was observing and asking about local customs. These children have been kind to inform me of various going-ons.
Oh, get any juicy gossip?
A boy named Timok has a crush on a girl named Laura.
Ooh.
That is rather
hot
spicy,
dogs.
isn't it?
I wish them well in the future.
Who do you have your eye on, Polaris?
The job.
The grind never stops.
You know what? Yeah, I'll just take that.
It is my pleasure to serve, masters. Yeah, as you all board the Polaris house, yeah, Anson just sitting there, just eating like some soup, drinking a nice cold glass of ice water.
We're back.
I see that. Bring me any souvenirs?
I can't believe I didn't think to grab any.
Yeah, to be fair, there's not a whole lot in that town to take. No stores.
Yeah.
We were just mostly dropping stuff off.
There's some cool decorations around, though.
Yeah, I could see that from the windows. I'm
Looks
not
like
going
you
out
didn't
that
miss
sun.
too much then.
This bridge has looked fun to climb.
Yeah, even more fun to jump off of.
Right, I'm traveling with adventurers.
think
I
Chris
forgot that.
climbed all the way up to the top. I don't know whatever happened to him. He might never come
As,
back. Who knows?
Yeah. Is there you go up there and there's like a small hut with like a permanent domicile up there now. You see Chris just sitting on a peak. Just by himself. Just chilling, resting.
What pose is he in when Chris is resting?
What pose is he in, Chris?
He's cross-legged.
It's crisscrossed applesauce.
Are your eyes closed?
They're wide open.
Chris sleeps like a dolphin.
So, like, if you wave your hand in front of his face, he doesn't react.
I waved my head in front of his face.
Yeah, no reaction.
What expression is he making? Is he smiling? What's he doing?
Yes.
Ew, I don't like that.
Obviously.
I don't like that. I hate that with all my heart. I hate that.
Yep, he's full smiling, eyes open, just sitting crisscross applesauce, staring to the void.
Oh, while we're up here, what's that item? Okay. Me and Chris bought some items at, what's that shop called in Golmud? Talks in Circles. It's her shop.
Random rubbish and good gubbins or something.
Yeah. Fuck, where's that? We got an item. I didn't want to split it between us because I'm like, we both, like, helped in getting it. I don't feel right about hogging it to myself. So both of these are collectively me and Chris and I's. But how does the bag of tricks work?
You pull out an object, and then you roll like a D8 or something, and then whatever you roll on that is what it makes.
How many times a day can you do that? Let me see. Once 3 fuzzy objects have been pulled from the bag can't be used again until the next dawn. Okay, as I'm waiting here for 2 hours with Chris, first hour, I'm gonna pull one of the little fuzzy things out of the bag from like behind him. I'll stand behind him and I'll just like sit down or something and I'll slot in.
Roll a D8. Okay. As you pull it out, you just reach in your hand, you pull out this like, it almost feels like a cat's hairball. Like it's this like very springy, furry object, and as you hold it, it sort of grows in warmth, and then it grows in mass as it just sort of just explodes out into a plume of feathers. As resting on your hand is a great horned owl, and it sort of just looks at you.
It's like they're like friendly towards us, right?
Yeah, unless you pull a rat.
Unless you pull a rat.
Yep, it's friendly to you, and you command it to do what it wants, or do what you want.
I take the owl, just carry him on my arm, and then just have him step on Chris's shoulder, and I just leave him there.
Okay, as you just casually leave an owl on top of Chris, perched like a pirate's parrot.
I pull another one.
Roll D8. Okay.
Oh no!
So you pull another brown fuzzy object, and it explodes out, grows in warmth, grows 2 curling horns and hooves, and you pull out a normal goat.
God, I want to make Creep that mineral joke so bad, but it's just so obvious. That's it. That's the joke. The fucking goat. I'm gonna just chuckle and tell him lick the rock.
He's goated!
With the sauce.
As the goat just begins licking a single area of the mountain. Over the next 2 hours, it actually wears like a fairly like it wears down a little bit of it, like it erodes it away.
I'll leave the last one in case we actually need it or something. I don't know why we would need it. It's like random every time, but just in case.
Okay. All right. Cool. So as you just sit there, rest with Chris, the 2 hours eventually pass as Chris, you shoot awake. There's a goat licking a rock, and there's an owl on your shoulder.
I place the owl on my head.
Okay. Yeah, it rests on your head.
Can we ride that thing?
The owl? It's an owl.
No, not the owl. The goat.
You can try. I don't know. What is the
I'm-
what does the item say?
It's just a normal goat, so you can try. It is a normal-sized goat.
I'm gonna try and ride the goat.
Unless you want to pull another one out and see if you can get one of the giant animals. There's a giant goat and a giant boar you could also get if you want to pull the last one out.
Okay, I'll pull one out.
Okay, roll a d8. Okay, as you pull a brown object, it grows in warmth, grows in size, and becomes a rat. But as you're holding it, it sort of looks around. What's your AC?
It's
What's your AC?
Misses. It begins slowly, like it's like trying to chew through your hand.
oh, I'm gonna
Like-
throw
like-
it off the mountain.
Okay. Yeah. You yeet this fucking rat off the mountain. You just see it turn to a brown speck and just disappear into the distance.
Zero's giggling just just a little bit.
Congratulations, Chris. You're a monster.
Well, I'm done resting, so I'm ready to travel wherever we need to go.
Let's head out.
I'll ride the goat.
Make an animal check.
Of course.
So it tries to attempt to let you ride it. Like it doesn't stop you, but it's still a normal sized goat. As you put your whole weight onto it, it's like struggling to keep you up. As this shaky legged goat is slowly like approaching the edge of this mountain. Like a roller coaster, like looking down, you're about to hit the ramp.
Full speed ahead.
I'm gonna roll a public D20.
How does that goat simulator game work? Is it you climb up a mountain?
You
I don't-
do a lot of things in Goat Simulator.
Goat Simulator is basically doing everything except being a real goat.
Okay, never mind then.
As you tell the goat to sort of go down the mountain full speed ahead, it takes you down like 10 feet, but then it loses its grips and begins to like tumble down the mountain with you on top of it.
No.
I think at that point,
Accept your fate.
I'll cast fly.
Okay.
I'll cast it on the goat as well.
Okay. So you cast it both on you and the goat as you both just begin to take off a little bit. The goat sort of like does a couple circles in the air as it sort of assumes its natural position betwixt your legs.
What a sight for Fintu right now. Jesus Christ.
Okay. Are you flying back to the players?
Yeah.
As Zero, you're left. You're wordlessly abandoned by your friend Chris, who is just using his magic to fly to Polaris while you have to climb your ass back down.
Yeah. That's alright. Can I, when I'm on my way back to the dragon, can I walk through, like, the center of the town? Because there's people that, like, trade stuff there, right?
Somewhat. Like, the trading is mostly just, like, just more like favors between people, if anything. It's like, yo, you have the pickaxe, let me borrow it for the day.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, there's small crafts and stuff people make, but that's usually for like the caravans and such.
Never mind. I think just as I'm getting back to Polaris, I want to make sure to pick up a stone or a rock or something near his feet, just so we can have like a anchor back here.
Good call. Yeah, as you get back to Polaris, the sun has fully set as the night, the purple of night and the black of night has begun to encroach on the town. Yeah, no lights are lit. The town is very dark even at night. Yeah, as you approach, you just pick up a small, just stone off the ground, roughly where Polaris sit. Cool. As you all board Polaris. Chris, you teleporting back to Goldman?
Are we all ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I guess I'll teleport back.
Okay. All right. You teleport back. Where was the object that was linked to Goldman again?
I guess
It was in the forest, or was it somewhere in the town?
I recall I specifically picked up one that was in town by the docks because
I guess I have a few items. Like we have the bag of tricks, we have the belt, we have the medallion thing that the site gave us.
The fishing rod.
You want to reappear and talk in circles? Shut up.
Probably not the best place to throw a dragon. No.
Yeah, I don't remember. At least I know for sure I didn't pick up anything outside, like where Polaris was hiding. I picked something up near the dock.
Okay. We'll just assume that then. As you suddenly reappear by the docks, we'll say like pretty much near on the pier. It's evening. The day's beginning to wind down, as you can see. Dusk is already also beginning to fall over here as well. Cool. Let me just switch music a bit. Cool. As you reappear on the dock, okay. I just rolled a d20 to see if there's anyone nearby. No, there isn't.
Lucky.
Yeah.
You did not get
As-
a full rest, right?
You guys
Only
didn't.
Chris did.
Only Chris.
Okay.
Yeah, but as you reappear on the dock, yeah, luckily the day is winding down. There doesn't seem to be anyone nearby the dock as a dragon appears on it. You pretty much reappear like next to some of the warehouses and stuff. You see the ships nearby. The smell of salt spray replacing the smell of dust and ash and sand. Yeah, the dark of dusk hits just as well here.
I can't believe we didn't think to do this earlier. I'm going to cast invisibility on Polaris. You can fly back up or go back to the forest, your decision. Answin, you hopping off?
Yeah, actually, I think I'll explore the town a bit. Stretch my legs.
Alright, you know how to reach us if there's any trouble.
I do. Should be okay. It's nothing dangerous in town, right?
Oh, yeah, there is. Stay away from where we are right now.
Right, okay. Well, I'm just gonna flee, then.
You'll be fine. You've been training.
If you see strange, like, aquatic-looking ghost things, maybe.
Barnacle men.
Run. They are strong, they will hurt. And they are hostile.
Just stick to
Good.
walled areas.
Are we setting her loose in the town?
We're not doing anything.
Haven't actually explored a town in a while, so just see what the sights are. Haven't left the city. I bet this much. So
Yeah. I'd say if you're feeling
Ask-
adventurous, go for it.
Ask
Man.
for Ask for the semen stew.
Oh, I've been having semen stew for the past year.
Yeah.
I think I'll skip on the semen stew. Okay, and she just exits the dragon. All right, what are you guys doing?
I'm gonna try and find Halimar.
Okay. Okay, the rest of you following suit, or you want to do something else in the town?
Yeah, I'll just guess I'll keep a watch on the docks.
Okay. Zero, Jenna.
I'll hang back on the docks with Chris.
Okay.
Do I get the vibe that Anson wants to be by herself?
Make an insight check.
I can also just ask her.
That's true. Up to you.
I'll just ask her. Do you want this to be a solo thing, or do you want me to walk around with you?
No, it doesn't have to be a solo thing. I just felt cooped up in the dragon too long.
Yeah.
You know, going to all these places and never actually setting foot. Yeah, I could die, but
I'll go with
no,
you.
no. Okay.
Not because I don't think you can handle it, but just it's nice to have company sometimes.
I guarantee if something showed up, I don't think I could handle it. I can throw a knife, kind of. Okay. So, guide me. Oops, that's the wrong token. That is your sister. Okay.
I guess I'll just give her a tour and stay away from the areas that are known to have the whatever things.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. As you begin to just try to find any like landmarks or just like interesting places. Yeah. Zero. Chris and Riley make perception checks while you're on the dock.
Can I make one for Isaac too?
Sure.
Uh,
Can I sense when Giorgio's like in trouble or in danger or anything?
I think we did that one time.
Don't we have like a how far is our psychic bond?
I think like 60 feet for teleportation or something like that. I'll say you may or may not have an intrinsic sense since you are
Okay.
literally bonded.
Because I just wanted to just leave Giorgio with the group, and that way, if I know something goes on, to go back.
Okay.
And then same thing where something happens to us, Giorgio can be like Lassie.
Okay. I will allow this.
Isaac's perception is a 11.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, Azlik will I'll pick up on this later, but once he does, he informs you, Zero, as Riley and Chris. Riley, you're not really paying too much attention. You're trying to look for Halabar, but you're just just getting off the docks, trying to look around for him on the docks, since he may or may not be keeping watch at this point, because you messaged him not that long ago. Chris, you are keeping an eye on the docks, as you're sort of looking at the beachhead, just on the coast and everything, up on the near the edge of the water. You sort of look out and you see a faint, dull light. Not the sun. The sun's on the has fully set at this point. It is dark. No moon is out right now, but there's a light outside. out in the ocean, a sort of dull, thrumming green light. Riley, you not really paying attention, but out of the corner of your eye with your past perception and your normal roll, you sort of look out into the ocean haphazardly, and you also see this dull, thrumming green light.
Does it remind me of anything?
No, not really.
I'm gonna look at it with zoom.
Okay. As you look at it with zoom, you look. It's not coming. It looks like it's coming kind of from the horizon. It's not. As you go in through zoom, you can see it's coming from the water itself, in the ocean. As you sort of go up towards the dock, all the way to the end, get the clear view of zoom. Tempest retorts vibrates.
I think we've got a piece of airlock nearby.
Okay. As you're sort of looking through zoom, and just keeping an eye, Chris, Riley, and at this point Zero, you can look out and see this as well. That dull, thrumming green light begins to grow a little bit brighter still.
Are you seeing that?
I'm feeling that!
As the glow gets brighter, the vibrations from temperature torque gets stronger, much stronger than it's ever been at any other point with any other piece of airlock you found.
Oh, this one's gonna be a big one.
As you're looking, you suddenly see this burst of water. Something shot out of the water. As you look, you see this very bright green light flash for a second, but then it grows dim again. As you look out, there is a with almost a horn-like call, there is a huge whale out there that just begins to soar through the air, and where you think it would fall, it doesn't. Instead, that light sort of grows a bit brighter, but Riley, you would notice this pretty well because you're in zoom. The whale doesn't have skin. It doesn't have meat. It is a whale skeleton. The eyes glow a bright green, but you see where the glow is coming from that you saw in the ocean. There is a sort of ball of almost flaming energy in the middle of his rib cage. And as you're sort of looking around, you can see it has flocks of crows around it as well that have just been circling above it. With the zoom as well, you can see those crows don't have all of their flesh. As this whale sort of bursts out of the water, it just begins to sort of glide across the surface of the water, almost like it's flying before retreating back into the ocean. Eventually, the green glow gets a little bit fainter. The vibrations from temperature retort begins to slow down. And eventually, it ceases once the light ceases as well, and the ocean is dark once more.
Well, I found a new goal. Whale hum. It's so sick.
Yeah, that's cool.
And we'll pick that up next time.
Yeah. Where's that art from?
D&D monster book.
Oh. Oh, that's a nice coincidence.
Yeah, it was not official D&D monster art, but I used it.
The token on the map is not true to size necessarily, is it?
I don't know.
Oh God.
Are whales big?
Whales are pretty
Giant.
fucking big. I don't know if they're like a quarter the size of a town big, but they're pretty fucking big.
I mean, compared to us, like tokens to tokens.
Person to whale size comparison.
Oh no, those scare me.
It's not that bad. Only like 10 people across.
It's like a school bus.
Yeah, kind of like a school bus, maybe a little bit bigger than that.
Blue whale is like 100 feet.
The average school bus is 70 to 90 feet, so yeah, they are bigger. But they're, yeah, it's like, imagine just like a double-decker bus the length of a limousine, essentially. And that's a
Limousine
whale.
longer than a school bus?
Yeah, probably.
Really?
I don't think so.
No?
I
on the size
don't
of school
think
bus.
so.
Limousine versus...
Maybe a semi-truck is longer than a school bus.
Yeah, okay, let's call it a semi then, yeah. It's like a semi-truck, so it wouldn't completely overpower a town.
Sorry, I gotta nitpick this every time a word comes up. Canadians call it a semi-truck.
Yeah, from what I understand anyway. I've always called them semis.
That's cute.
Why are they called semi trucks if they're bigger than a normal truck?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Anyway, XP.
Yeah.
What are you guys all like
What
right now?
has nothing? A semi part of the title has nothing to do with the size, but everything to do with the tractor that's pulling behind it. Semi truck, semi. Got it. Because it's not one cohesive
It's
vehicle. Is
segmented.
what I'm understanding. Yeah.
Ooh.
How
We're
much XP?
We're at 216.
I'll give y'all 3,000.
All right, 219. Is that enough for a level up?
I think we're just shy,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, we need like 6 more thousand.
Almost like we
2
gotta
more
fight a big
sessions.
whale.
Or fight
Yeah.
a big whale. It could be responsible for the undead too, because it seems to be undead itself. That'd be a cool aspect of Airlock. I wonder what that unlocks for my sword.
Necromancy.
Imagine. Riley the Necromancer.